All right. Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. Okay. So, welcome to today's session. Okay. Thank you for making time to join this afternoon session. Okay. I would like to extend a warm welcome, very especially to, I think I saw Puan Zuraida in, if I'm not mistaken, okay. If there are headmasters or headmistress who have joined in, or perhaps senior assistants, welcome to this session. And also a very warm welcome to all the panel heads, okay, teachers of PETALING UTAMA, and a special welcome to those who are not from PETALING UTAMA. Okay, so a big welcome to you too, right? So you have seen the what do you call it, the title, of today's session. Okay, so I know some of you, may not be able to attend today's session, so I will share the recordings with you, and if you wish, I will share the slides as well with you. Okay, so I shall begin. Let's see. Okay. Come on, this one. Hold on, yeah. Let's hope and pray everything goes well. Okay. Hey. Okay. Okay. Can I? Okay. Can I get some feedback on the sound system? Can you hear me clearly? Because I'm wearing double mask.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, very clear,
Okay.
madam.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So welcome to today's session. Now, for some of you, okay, you had already attended this session, which we had actually in April 20th, 2021. At that time, it was a face-to-face session, so we kind of like got to do a lot of things. Okay. So I believe there are some of you here today, who had attended that session. It's not going to be exactly the same. Okay, I've improved. And then we also have other teachers who have not, attended the session in April, who are also here. Okay, so just to let you know, you will see some familiar slides. Okay, during the April session, what the trainers, what our PETALING UTAMA District English language trainers and I did was to actually explain to you how to go about, how to understand the learning standard individually. Okay, that means, if it is 2.1.5, what is it, how to what it means, what sort of suggested activities, how to come up with the learning objective, okay, and success criteria and so on. So for this FUFT, which stands for follow up, follow through, okay, this is a follow up activity of that, where I am not going to share individual learning standards, but I'm going to follow the CEFR concept, okay, where you have the main learning standard as well as the complementary learning standard. Okay, so please okay, so I move on. Okay, so this is what we did in April, okay, unraveling the Year 4 English language learning standards and classroom based assessment. Okay, so I know it is widely known as PBD, but for English language, I suggest that we get familiar with the term classroom-based assessment. Okay, CBA. CBA and PBD are the same thing. It's only in different languages. Okay. Oh, before that, in case there are any officers from other districts who are here, welcome. Sorry, sometimes tend to forget things. Okay. So in the objective of the session, right? So by the end of this session, members of the audience should be able to unravel the Year 4 English language learning standards and create learning objectives based on them. Okay. Now, we're not actually going to ask you to create because I created it based on my knowledge. Okay. Now, please remember that not everything that I say is correct because it is also a learning process for me. And learning is infinity, right? But you also know, I think that teachers are the hardest lot to teach because they think they teach, other people learn. Okay, so that's why I keep on reminding you to be positive about it. Yeah, every day is a learning process, not just for you, but for me too. Okay, then,
Sorry, Miss Derry. There's a
yeah,
voice behind you that is, I think everyone is
uh,
complaining.
okay,
Sorry.
sorry. Oh, okay. Hold on, yeah. Uh, Zaini. Oh, sorry. Chup. Uh, okay. Saya guna earphone tapi saya punya earphone ada problem bila saya bercakap diorang tak dengar. Macam mana ni? Sorry
Miss Derry, we could hear you, but then it was the man behind you, whoever was talking, it's like a little irritating. That's why we couldn't focus on you.
Okay. Never mind. What I will do, I will try to okay, because I don't have a room of my own, so it's difficult. Is it okay now? Okay. Yeah, sometimes we have to have a give and take. Okay, so that's why. So anyway, we will be discussing suitable activities, okay, based on the success criteria, as well as identify the matching descriptors, okay, for classroom-based assessment, okay. And this assessment is based on the performance standards in the standards-based curriculum and assessment document. So this is the English version of the SKP. Now, as English teachers, okay, we not only need to know the term in Bahasa, but we also need to know the term in English. So sometimes when somebody mentions something in English and you're like, what's that again? And then when people say DSKP, DSKP, But as English teachers, for us, ourselves, we need to know the term in English language as well. Okay? Right. Next. Okay, so this is the success criteria. So you are successful if you are, sorry, that's the B. I don't know how many times I looked at the slide and I didn't notice. Okay, if you are able to, please omit the B. Okay, identify the meanings of two or more specific terms in the learning standards by referring to the explanation in the SOW. So that is why if you notice, even in the poster, I reminded you about the textbook, the standard based learning document, okay, and your textbook, because there are things that I didn't scan from the textbook, so I'm hoping that you will refer to the textbook as well as the documents. Okay, relate to at least 2 activities for each of the learning standards assigned to fulfill the LO and SC. Okay, so LO, learning objective, SC, success criteria. Okay, and I believe there are districts that do not do success criteria. It's not about being right or wrong. Okay, it is the instructions given by each district. Okay, and I think by now, after so many years, you would see the impact, okay, of putting success criteria, especially to be shared with your children. Okay, and the third one, correlate with the type of classroom-based assessment according to the performance standards in the curriculum document. Okay, so now, please do not think, hey, we know this, how come always somebody who's less or who knows less than us. Yeah. Okay. So standards-based curriculum and assessment document. Okay. The SOW. At one time, when we say SOW, it actually meant the yearly plan. But SOW is not exactly the yearly plan under CEFR, but it is a document on its own to help you plan for the year. Okay. And the concentration here, or the focus here, or the stress here is on year 4. And you know that based on the MCO that we have now, okay, the main document, I won't say the main document, but the document to refer to is the DPK, okay, Document Penjajaran Curriculum. So it's the curriculum realignment document. Okay. For those of you from Petaling Utama district, okay, you would know that somewhere in July, towards the end of July 2020, we actually had a session, yeah, for this realigning document, okay, for the English language, okay. Okay, so this is the KSSR, okay. For your information also, okay. This one also for some of your or rather I have discovered teachers who don't seem to realize that there is a revision. Okay, there was a revision in 2017. That's why if you look at the new documents, you have Semakan 2017. Okay, so when you refer to any document or to anything that says KSSR and all that, please make sure that you get the latest one, which is Semakan 2017. Okay, for your information, from 2017, why Semakan 2017? Okay, this also you have to know because it started in 2017, the one that was reviewed. Okay, so when in 2017 it was year 1, 2018 year 2, 2019 year 3, 2020 year 4, and now it is up to year 5, 2021. Okay, I hope as panel heads you will know this and you must know this, whether you consider yourself as new, okay, or you consider yourself as, I won't use the word old, okay, very sensitive to a lot of people, okay, but as a senior teacher, you should know this, you must know this, okay. Why? See, when you are a new panel head, I understand, new panel head, as a new panel head, you have a lot of new responsibilities. But then again, you are not a new teacher. Okay, a new teacher will be probably, I don't know, 6 months or less or something like that. But a new panel head can learn so much more, and you already have some experience because you have been teaching English. Okay, I also salute those teachers or panel heads who are non-optionists, and they learned. And I must tell you that I don't what do you call it, there is no discrimination between a non-optionist and English optionist teacher. You may not have seen, but I have seen, okay, this is the like 8th year as an SISC plus officer. I have seen teachers, yeah, non-English option teachers who are very good. Let me tell you that, okay. So there is no discrimination, right? Okay. Excuse me. Going to the SOW. Now the SK and the SJK, if you look in terms of the standard-based assessment document, the standard-based curriculum document, okay, there's not very much difference between the SK and the SJK. Okay, it's timetable wise, yes, the SJK actually struggle because they are only they have half the time, yeah, to conduct the lessons in comparison to the SK schools. Okay, so SK schools are actually more fortunate, okay. Yet the SJK pupils are expected, yeah, to achieve, okay, at the same level as SK pupils. So, it's not easy, right? Okay, so there is a difference in the SOW though. Okay, the SJK, Chinese and Tamil schools, okay, in English, Chinese and Tamil, um, what do you call it, national type primary schools. Okay, the teachers will know this. Okay, so going to the SOW, the first thing that comes to mind when I say the SOW, when teachers mention this is, oh, they've already given the layout of lessons of, what do you call it, textbook lessons and non-textbook lessons, right? But then SOW goes beyond that. Okay, I would actually suggest that you do a PLC. Yeah, sit in your panel, get all the English teachers sit in your panel and just pick one SOW, okay, perhaps the one from level 2, and go to it from cover to cover. Okay, go to it cover to cover doesn't mean read every word. Okay, of course you skim and scan, but at least you know what your SOW is about, what the contents are, and things like this. Okay, so they have suggestions for activities, and then they have the flow of the lesson and all that. Okay, but they have so much more. And if you look at the contents, okay, so you have the organization, okay, you have pre-lesson and post-lesson tasks as examples for you. Okay, you have differentiation strategies for primary pupils. So in Malay is pembelajaran terbeza. So this is not something new, it's been there for years. Okay, and very often you are practicing all this but you don't realize. So it's time that you realize. Okay, it's all a learning process. Okay, and then I've also asked some teachers certain terms, okay, in the DSKP or the curriculum document, okay, and some teachers, they assume the meaning of this certain words or this term and all that. And I'm like, you can refer to the SOW, okay. I don't deny that the SOW gives you everything. Okay, there are things perhaps that you need to look for in the internet, look for resources or things like that. And you can also ask me, not that I know everything, but of course I will try, as far as possible, okay, to share them with you. Okay, and then you have the scheme of work. Okay, so this is the sample of the pre-lesson and post-lesson tasks. Okay, now okay, coming to look at number 3, line 3. Okay, post-lesson tasks come at the end of the lesson to review, summarize, personalize, or talk about learning the lesson. Okay, now this may differ from the closure. Okay, the closing activity that you have for your lesson. Okay, I'm what do you call it? I'm not really going to go into activities for closure, okay? But the main reason that you have closure, if you read up, okay, is to give that impact to the children. When they learn, kind of like they go up and all that. So you want them to end with a bang, not just drop. You want them to still sustain. And then when you have something that is impact to them, something that is really fun, it stays there. Okay, in the mind, right? Then you have differentiation strategies. Okay, this is the part. This glossary, see, I highlighted this. The section provides teachers with supporting explanations for some of the content and learning standards. Okay, don't assume. Yeah, we cannot simply assume. It depends. Yeah, okay. So it provides explanations of important terms. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, if you look on the left, it is the standards-based document. Okay, so you have like 221 on the left. Okay, and then you in the SOW, see 221, the explanation is given. What do you mean by short exchanges? Because prior to this, we didn't have all these terms, short exchanges, right? So what is it? So it is explained there, okay, an exchange in a dialogue, okay, how many turns, those kind of things. And then another example is 2.3.1, okay, 2.3.1, narrate basic, short basic stories. And then you'll be wondering, what is these basic stories? Yeah, no lah, the simple. Okay, don't assume. Go back to the explanation where pupils are asked to tell stories themselves. Okay, what kind of stories? It can be stories that they have read from books. It can be stories that they have learned, heard, listened. Especially those days, our parents and our grandparents had the time to really, despite my parents were working at that time, they still had time to share stories with us. Perhaps maybe stories from television, watching television, stories that they had heard, from their friends, things like that. So it's very open, okay? And the element of hot is also in there, okay? Now, we're going to touch a bit on the content standard and learning standard. What's the difference? Okay, content standard is the educational goal. Okay, as panel heads, you must know this as well. Okay. Okay. So the educational goal should be achieved. The content standard is what they need to achieve in the 6 years of primary schooling. Okay. When you call it learning standard is what should be mastered at the end of that year. So if we focus on year 4, that means by the end of year 4, they must have achieved these learning standards that are in the document for year 4. Okay, so you see content standard is a longer term goal, okay, and the learning standard is a shorter term goal. Okay, so it's not a matter of being general and specific and things like that. Okay, I hope this helps, especially those who are newer panel heads. Okay, so the process of preparing lessons. Okay, so in the document you already have the content standard, and then from the content standard they have the learning standard. It's broken down to the learning standard, and from the learning standard you build your learning objectives. Okay, and then based on that learning objectives you do your success criteria. And how do you come up with the success criteria? They are actually based on the activities that you are doing. You need to plan your activities well. Okay, base activities plan on success criteria, which is plan on learning objectives, which is plan on learning standard, which is plan on the content standard. Okay, so in your lesson plan, you need to have your content standard, learning standard, learning objectives, and success criteria. Activities, of course, you have. Okay. Now, so just to show you, okay, so 213, 2 will be the skill of. Can somebody unmute and answer me? 2 is for the skill of speaking. Yeah, okay. So it goes by 1 listening, 2 speaking. Thank you. 3 will be reading, 4 will be writing, 5 will be language arts. Okay. So here, first of all, highlight the key points, okay, in the learning standard. Okay. Now, if you look at the page that I have given you in the DSKP, okay, or in the SOW, I think the one in the SOW may differ from what you have. Okay, I'm not too sure whether there are 2 versions of it, but it's not very much difference. Maybe the pages. Okay. Okay, and then so identify the keywords. Okay, so in this case, give, longer sequence, basic directions. Okay, then the focus, if you notice in your standard document, you also have this focus, communicate simple information clearly. So they are actually guiding you as the teacher, right? So here I've also put in 2.1.3, give a longer sequence of basic instructions. Basic directions. Okay. So what is this longer sequence? See, the explanation is given in the SOW. Okay. Basic directions are short. Okay. Are often 2 or 3 words long and whatnot. Okay. So this is another sample. Okay. 3, which is listening, speaking, reading. Understand the main idea of simple text of 1 or 2 paragraphs. Okay. So this one also, you identify the keywords. Okay. I think somebody's mic is on. Okay. So understand the main idea in a variety of text types on familiar topics. Okay. And then the explanation is given. Okay. So it's okay, sorry, this one longer simple text. Okay, now do you see that although it is the learning standard is 3.2.1, but when we look in the SOW, I don't think it is shown under 3.2.1, but you can look for the term longer simple text. So it may not be in the reading skill, it may be in the speaking skill, maybe in the writing skill, but you look for it, but the explanation is given. So what is longer simple text? Okay, so they give you short simple text are those with more than 4 or 5 utterances. So that means longer will be longer than that. Okay, not very difficult. Okay, then I'm going to the learning objectives. Okay, in writing the learning objective, okay, you need to relate to the skill, okay, or to the learning standard, right? So for example, okay, if you're teaching 1 point something, okay, then you have listen to the song and do what? Okay, speak about oneself and do what? That's for speaking. Read about what and do what? Okay, write what? Okay, so once you see, you know. Okay, remember, this is not a hard and fast rule. Sometimes you do not know how I worry, okay, that some teachers, a few teachers, I will put it, I won't use some, okay, some is more than a few. So a few teachers may misquote me and say, Miss Jerry said this, must do this. Okay, please, again, these are all suggested. I'm helping you, but there are exceptions and you need to know that. Okay, that's why experience really matters. Okay, and I'm sure every school you have senior teachers whom you can discuss with. Okay, right. So writing the learning objectives. Okay, so in your lesson plan, okay, so you will have this. Okay, the week, the date, and all that. Okay, please write in English, in the English language, not in BM. Don't put minggu there and hari and all that. Okay, when you do that in Bahasa, it's not about not being official. Okay, it is about practicing the English language for the English language subjects. Okay, just like how a lot of you all put BI in your timetable. Okay, when you put BI and your children, okay, this I'm not talking about virtual learning, not about online learning, but when you were face to face. Okay, even in the schools, in the classrooms, everywhere you put BI, BI, BI. Okay, so the children will learn it as BI. What subject do you have now? BI. I think I can't even put a percentage. Okay, when I ask a child in any school that I went to, what do you have now? Maybe they'll say English, but nobody will say English language, you know. Or the majority, 99.9% will answer me BI. Okay, who's teaching you language? Who's teaching you English? Oh, cikgu BI lah, apa nama? You know, so it's BI, BI, and BI. So much so they don't even know what is English language. Okay, just like if you notice the term physical education. Okay, last time it was known as physical education, and then when it became PJ, became PJK, became PJ, became PJPK, you know, things like that, and people forgot what is physical education. So this is where I'm a bit worried as well. Okay, one teacher mentioned to me, oh, you know, but the MBM, MBI. Okay, look, MBM, MBI is another thing. This one, when you teach the English language, then you have to speak in English. Okay, in the language, right? Okay, so you have the focus skill, and then my suggestion, okay, is for you to do a table. Yeah, make a table like this. Okay, and sorry, I'm trying to monitor the, what do you call it? The chat box there. Okay, so my suggestion to do like this is for you to see the flow or the relation between the content standard and the learning standard. Okay, and then, you know, for complementary as well. So what is the content standard and what is the learning standard? Okay, right now, okay, Wakida has raised a hand. Hold on, okay. if you see what I have put in green here, try to combine the main and complementary learning standards in writing the learning objective. Okay, if you feel you have a difficulty in combining, then you put them separately. Okay, who was it who raised the hand? Wahida, is it? Was it Wahida? No more? No hands raised? Nobody raised their hands. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? No? No questions?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So far, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very clear.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So, okay. If you also see here, okay, if you look at this slide, you will notice that the main standard is the main learning standard is reading. Okay, the complementary is writing. Okay. Now, so they differ. They are different skills. Can you do for the same skill? Anyone can turn the mic on and reply. Can you do for the same skill, meaning main reading, complementary also reading? Can you do that?
Yes.
Can, okay, it depends, yeah, on what you're teaching. Thank you. Okay, this is, I have shared this, okay, I shared this during April, okay, so I hope it helps a lot more people. When you're writing your learning objectives, I suggest you follow the ABCD concept. Okay, so when we have A, okay, we have the audience, okay, and then B stands for behavior, so the verbs, okay, what you want them to do relating to your activities, okay, and then C, the condition or the context. Always remember, when you teach anything, you must teach them in context. When you teach them in context, then they will know how to apply those words. But it's vocabulary, you know, grammar and things like that. Okay? Please don't teach them in isolation, because without the context, there's no use if they know it, but they do not know how to apply or how to use. Okay? And then the D is for degree, the limitation, the scope, how much, how deep, how little, you know, that you want them to do, want them to perform or understand. Okay? So here is an example. Okay, this one I also conducted in April. If you notice, I only put one learning standard because this is just to show you. So if it is getting around, so include the what and the how in the learning objective. Okay, so this is one example. Give a longer sequence of basic instructions or directions. Okay, so here when we say instructions or directions, you need to make a choice whether you want to teach instructions or you want to teach directions. Okay. So you see, this is true. So it's a speaking skill. So speak to their friends, okay, to give longer sequences of basic instructions on safety on the street using imperatives properly, appropriately. Okay. I don't think you need to use the word correctly, okay, because they are meant to do it correctly. Nobody wants to do it wrongly. Okay. Okay, this is another example. Okay, so this one is because it's directions, so you have basic directions, you know, you can use some of the words in the learning standard, but you have to relate on how or what is the outcome actually, what's the learning objective that you want them to get by the end of that 30 minutes or 60-minute lesson. Okay. Okay, so here comes CFR. So earlier on it was single because I wanted you to kind of see. Now, okay, it is the main and the complementary learning standard. Okay, so this is how you combine. Okay, so two will be speaking, one will be listening. Okay, so should be able to respond, yeah, to longer supported questions. Okay, I took from the complementary here, but how is it done? By giving longer sequences of basic instructions. Okay, what's the context on safety on the street? And then using what? How? What's the, you know, degree of it? Using imperatives. Okay, so that's how I came up. Okay, This is another example, okay, about celebrations. Okay, this is make and respond to simple offers and invitations. Okay, they didn't say to what, whether it's a party, it's a wedding, things like that. Okay, so based on what do you call it, the textbook, okay, I used a Children's Day party. I think if I'm not mistaken, in the textbook it is something about National Day or something like that. Okay, so do something that is related to the children. Okay, don't give them something like ASEAN Day and things like that. They do not know. You have to go according to the level. If your pupils are of really with high level of proficiency, then by all means. Okay. Okay. Success criteria. Okay. Yes, GNT, you have a question?
Hi, Miss Mary. I just want to know, okay, the previous, okay, thank you. Whether we have to state how many sentences, we have to be more specific. This is fine.
You mean in the learning objective?
Yeah.
Okay, in the learning objective, no need. In the success criteria, perhaps, but not in the learning objective. Okay, you see, there are some districts, I think I mentioned just now, but I didn't mention it completely. There are some districts that do not practice the writing of success criteria. Okay, now for those districts that do not practice success criteria, they have to put all that in the learning objective. Okay, that is why when some teachers, they compare from this district A and district B, they say, why you got, why I don't have, why your this thing is different, why is mine not? So you need to understand, the certain, what do you call it, instructions or concepts, or, the arahan that is given. So some of them, the districts that do not have success criteria, they have to make their learning objective more specific. This is considered already specific if you follow the A, B, C, and D. Okay, and also another reason, as I've said many years ago also, when you write your objective clearly, if you happen to faint maybe half an hour before your lesson and somebody else needs to take over, okay, not assuming all this MCO, last time, okay, then the person who takes over, when they read your lesson plan, they will know what to do. They don't have to wait for you. Okay? Yeah? So that's why we try to make it as clear as possible in the learning objective, but you don't have to specify exactly how you're doing and all that. That will be more for success criteria, and the more detailed one will be in your lesson plan, in your writing. Okay? Does that answer, JMT? Previous slide about ABCD. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, you want me to go back to the ABCD? Is it? Somebody asked me to go back to the ABCD. Ikwan, is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Done. Okay. All right. Don't worry, you don't have to take photos because I will share these slides with you. Okay, but yeah, I will share these slides. Where am I? Okay. Success criteria now, coming to this. So till now, a lot of teachers tend to have these question marks, on their faces, on their heads, around them, whatever. What is success criteria? Okay, so the learning objective, okay, if you see here is the product, okay. The product is what the learning, what sort of learning that the pupils need to get at the end of the 30-minute, 60-minute, or when face-to-face 90-minute lesson. Okay, at the end of the lesson, by the whole time that you have spent teaching them, also please remember this, for those of you who what do you call it, attended the conference that we had, the PUI's conference that we had on Saturday. The key speaker, the keynote speaker was the professor, okay, and that Professor Ramli, if I'm not mistaken, Professor Dr. Ramli, if I'm not mistaken, also mentioned, okay, that when you teach, it doesn't mean that the pupils will learn. It's not the same, you may teach of this level, but their learning is only of this level. So we must always keep that in mind when we are teaching. Okay, not putting anyone down. And I can testify to that because I have been teaching before. I didn't just, drop from the sky and suddenly become SINC plus officer. I became this, I applied for this post because I had the qualifications that I was a teacher as well. So with all that experience, I'm sharing with you what you teach doesn't necessarily mean that is exactly what is learned by the pupils. Okay, so teaching is not equivalent to learning. Yeah, must remember that. Yeah, whether you're a new teacher, you're a seasoned teacher, it doesn't matter. Okay, right. So success criteria. How to differentiate from the learning objective? The learning process. Success criteria is the learning process on how you're going to go about to help give that necessary input for the learning of the pupils. That is the success criteria. Okay, and it has to be done hands-on. Okay, I know, I understand the challenges that you go through when you're doing your online learning. Okay, there are a lot of challenges. Trust me, I've also, I cannot do what you do. Okay, I must tell you this. Okay, I salute you because a lot of you really, really go through a lot of what do you call it, challenges, your time, your effort and things like that. Very often you're also disappointed, with all the preparations that you make, you don't have enough people joining your class and things like that. Trust me, I know. Okay, what my boss tells you, that sentiment is, she's only talking on behalf of her, not for us officers. We all know that what you go through. Okay, so even in online learning, and Shamala says the audio is not clear. Is it not clear?
It's okay for
Yeah.
me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, right, thank you. So, what do you call it? Even during online learning, you can get the pupils to do activities hands-on. Okay, so don't say, online learning, is you just talk and then they listen. You still can do interactive things. Okay, according to your abilities, according to your talents. Okay, I'm not very good in IT, but sometimes I will ask for maybe one or two teachers to help me. Sometimes I'll ask my colleagues to teach me. I do not know everything as well. That's why I'm saying we need to keep on learning. Yeah. So coming back to the success criteria, it's a learning process. Okay. And why do we need the success criteria? Okay. So pupils are informed of what they need to learn. Okay. So this is where the scaffolding comes in. Okay. Scaffolding here is a very important word for teachers. So scaffolding, you just imagine when people are building, constructing a building, right? So they need to have the scaffolding, right, to kind of like climb up, do wherever necessary and things like that. So it goes step by step. Okay? Focus on the I can statement. Okay? So always remember to focus on what do you call it? What the pupils can do. Okay, there are some things that they can't. Okay, but when you focus on the I can statement as in what they can do, don't stop there. Push them a little bit more. If they can handle, let them handle. I will also deal with that when I come to the classroom-based assessment. Okay, here. So pupils are also informed on how they would be assessed. Okay, question here. Do you carry out assessment for every lesson? What's your feedback? Can you type in the chat box, please? Must you carry out assessment for every lesson, teaching and learning lesson, or PDP in Bahasa? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I see that you understand. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So you don't have to carry out assessment for every lesson. Okay, you will faint, they will faint double. Okay, so we will touch on that when we get later. Yeah, when we go to the next part. Okay, so the success criteria must progress from simple to difficult. Okay, don't just put in what you think. Okay, this is also based on my experience as a school improvement coach, okay, where I've seen, the teacher doesn't arrange, the order of the success criteria. So it has to start simple, because whenever you teach the children, you have to teach something simple before you can go to the difficult part. Okay, then it must be measurable. Why measurable? Because we want to put in or add in the element of differentiated learning. Okay, as I said, many of you do this, but sometimes you don't realize that you're doing it. Okay. Next one. Okay, always try to make it visible. See, like when you teach in the classroom, remember we always tell you to kind of like paste the success criteria in what do you call it, on the board, so that it's always there for them to refer as well as for you to refer. Okay. Okay, and then success criteria also allows, or rather provides, feedback for the pupils and the teachers and the teacher. Okay, so how to state the success criteria? Okay, in the lesson plan, you need to write it out in complete form. Okay, pupils are successful if they are able to da. Okay, right? And then now that it's been online lessons, okay, so display it if you can, for those who are good, okay, if you can. Okay, if you can, try to paste or put a section of the success criteria there. Okay, so when you carry it out in your lesson, okay, whether it's face-to-face, as in physical face-to-face or online, okay, when you share it with the children, it is just this: I can. Okay, I can, and then you state. So you don't have to be as complete as how you write in the lesson plan. In the lesson plan, it is for you. Pupils are successful. But when you share with the pupils, you just I can. That's it. Okay. Again, I'm trying to share things that are easy for you. Okay. All right. So this one, okay, differentiated. Okay. So now in terms of being measurable, okay, differentiated learning. So these are 4 ways of my suggestion, okay, to show that you have differentiated learning in your lesson plan. Okay, whether it's physical face-to-face or it's online face-to-face. Okay, even for your offline lessons, I think you will also have to write this. Yeah. So how do you identify? Okay, so I have suggested 4 ways. Okay, of using these 4 terms. Okay, so at least. Okay, the first one is at least 3 points. Okay. When you write at least, you don't have to write 3 out of what. Look at the second one. If you're using out of, then you just put 4 out of 6, 3 out of 5, things like that. Okay. Third, list up more than 5. Okay, so that means your minimum bar is 5. But if you put more than 5, your minimum bar is 5. That means you are setting the minimum bar there. And when you set this minimum bar, the weakest child in your class by right should achieve that minimum that you have set. Okay? So please be careful when you do your activities as well. Okay? Don't give so much until they cannot reach the minimum as well. Yeah? Okay, and the next one is 2 or more. So that means your minimum is 2. Okay? But if they can do more, all the better. Okay? Next. Okay, so always visible. Okay, so how to make it visible? Okay, you share and display either immediately after the learning objective, or you can share and display one at a time. So that means after your learning objective, you share the first success criteria, then you do, maybe you want to give your input first, then you share your success criteria for the first one, and then you do whatever activities. Done, then you display the second success criteria. Then you do the activity, then you do the third success criteria, and you do the activity. Okay? So that's 1, 2 ways, okay? And the other one, okay, will be at the end, towards the end of the lesson, after all the activities are done before your closure, you get back, you show them again the success criteria to refresh. Okay, what do you do just now? There you did this. Okay, so I have this. Oh no, sorry. I will show it also to you. Okay, so that they will know, they will check that they did this, and they did this. Okay. So here are some examples, okay, of the success criteria. I mean, there are teachers lah who have also done this. Okay, so see, I can explain, I can do this and whatever not. Okay, right? Okay, so okay, so this is the learning objective and the success criteria. Okay, right. So looking at this is one example. Okay, the learning objective, okay, will be responding to a simple invitation. Okay, I'm using back what I said earlier, to a children's party from a given text. Okay, that means you have to give the text, okay, by preparing a thank you card using grammatically correct sentences. Okay, and then the success criteria will be, imagine this is your learning objective. Okay, how are you going to conduct the lesson? You need to imagine first. Okay, you want to do this first. This is what the input that you want to give. Based on that input, then this is what they're going to do. Then this is what they're going to do. Okay, so here, this is my suggestion. Okay, so read the text, children's party at the least. Now, I don't think you don't have this in your textbook. This one, I just came up with it because it's actually quite easy for you to come up with a simple text. Okay, maybe adapt here and there, or you have your resources of YouTube and whatever not. Okay, then identify at least 3 points. Okay, so you are also relating it to the complementary learning standard, the main idea of simple text. Okay, then after you have read, you've done the discussion, whatever, then you plan and work on a draft to respond to the invitation in the text. Okay, then you write out the response. Okay, now see, there are certain things where you can't have what you call it, like the measurable part, right? Plan and work on a draft, right? If you want, you can say draft what, but then again, you're going to give the template, so you don't have to put the number here. Okay, then write out the response to the invitation. Okay, so even here, when you write the response, you're not giving a number, right? So it's not stated here. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. You see, once you have done your lesson and all that, when you show, you see, then you can tick, or you can do one by one and then you tick. Okay, so this is according to your creativity. Okay, please don't say, Ms. Jerry say must do in the beginning only. No such thing. Okay, these are just ideas and suggestions that I'm giving you. Okay, so this is a kind of a layout. Okay, a different layout. You have a learning objective here, you have the success criteria here. I just pasted it here to just show you. Okay, so this is my suggestion. If I were to conduct the lesson, I would do this. Okay, so set induction, show a cover contents of an invitation card to discuss and identify the important features. Okay, so I don't know, it's up to you whether usually a birthday card is the closest okay, to the children where invitation is concerned. If you want, because wedding cards, okay, a little different, because if you see a Hindu wedding, the card is different. For a Christian wedding, the card is different. For a Muslim wedding, that's up to you. If you want to show them, also no problem. Maybe you can show them the different varieties. Or as a flipped classroom activity, you can actually, get them, I don't know, get the sister's invitation card, brother's invitation card, or maybe, look for it up in the internet and things like that. Okay, then display the text, okay, digital or in print. Okay, get pupils to identify at least 3 points based on the discussion. So what you need to have, when you have an invitation card, what are the features? Okay, discuss possible responses, arrange them in a template. Then, to save time, give them the template. Okay, but you get them to expand the words all first. That means you kind of organize, those words, how to write and things like that. Then when you give them the template, then they can fill that in. Okay, rather than you just give them a template, okay, now you fill. And then you know who will be more stressed out? You. Okay, especially when you mark, right? So try to make things simple for the children, and also not too difficult for you to mark or give feedback and things like that. Okay, then the closure here, an example, you can share their products. You can ask each of them to share their feelings about their work. Okay, the values they had learned during the lesson. Okay, I do not know whether any of you all went through this, but in college, I remember one of the writing activities, okay, that as a teacher trainee, the lecturer actually asked us to create our own wedding invitation card. Not of our relatives' wedding, our own wedding. Okay, so I had to put, who I'm supposedly getting married to, son of whom, and then where the wedding is going to be held, where the reception, all in the invitation card. That was at college level. I still remember, yeah, till today. I do not know whether you have done that. Okay, and we were like, hey, hello, we are still young, we're not getting married yet, and the teacher's like, hello, use your imagination, things like that. Okay, so it was fun lah, until today. You see, I have that impact. Okay, so how to relate now? Remember what was the main learning standard? Writing, right? If you're doing main learning standard writing, you insist on writing. Okay, so then you go to writing. So for your information, okay, I actually came up with this. When you look into the standards-based document, you will see all the descriptors clumped together. And you'll be like, which is for which and which is for which? Okay, I have taken the time to do a suggested one for you, and I can share with you for free. Okay, all I need is to ask press for me. That's all. No need money. Okay, so I have done something like this, okay, to simplify things for you, right? So I just kind of put in all the learning standards here, and then the ones on the right, the related descriptors, those related to these particular learning standards. Okay, so when it is for what is it just now, 4.2.2, right? So when you assess them, you base on this. Okay, fixed phrases. And you see, I have actually highlighted, in this turquoise color, and then this in turquoise and yellow. Okay, to show you the difference, how to give, level 1 and level 2. Okay, so here is fixed phrases, basic statements, okay, with a lot of support. Okay, here also with a lot of support, but then there is a difference. Here is fixed phrases. Here's basic statements. Fixed phrases means you set the phrases. Basic statements, you can perhaps assist them, that means every time they say, it doesn't mean using the same statement or phrases. Yeah, okay. And here is adequately. Okay, I don't know why the cues can't be seen properly. Okay, and then you have with very few relevant details, with some relevant details. Okay, all these if you conduct PLC among your panel members, then you can actually kind of learn how to do your professional judgment. It's always mentioned under PBB, right? We always mention about professional judgment. Okay, it's easy to say, it's not easy to do. Yeah, it's really not easy. Okay, so in terms of assessment, okay, you know this, right? Various strategies, various methods. Okay, how you keep the progress of your pupils' assessments is very important. Okay, please, you owe this to them, and the pupils have the right to learn. So you really owe this to them. Okay, so you need to have their progress report. Okay, not so much just to answer what the parents, ask, or what your HM or your senior assistant asks. We don't always just do things for certain people. The most important here, the chosen ones here are the children. Okay, so whatever we do, whether we improve, whether we don't do what we need to do and things like that, okay, we are actually answerable to the children. Huh? Okay, they are the clients. Okay, so how many wait, how many of you have problems understanding this performance standard guide? Not just for writing, for anything. Can I just see some hands raised, or in the chat box or something like that? How many of you have problems understanding? Okay, 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 okay. I see many hands raised. Okay, whether they are new teachers newly in the service or even senior teachers. Okay, again, this is very subjective because it's not spelled out very clearly. Okay, so that's why it's always easier when we have PLC to sit down and to clear things. Okay, not many teachers have contacted me to ask, okay, how can we look at the descriptors? Can we, kind of clarify this and that? And 8 years I've been SISD class, and this one is year 4, year 5. Now consider 2 years, yeah, since we have this. Nobody really actually came and said, okay, Miss Jerry, can you come sit with us? Can you clarify this? Okay, nobody. So I was like also worried, I always say this, when people don't ask you questions, there are two assumptions. One, either they know everything. One, you really do not know anything. Okay, so for me, if you do not know, ask. We can have a session, no problem. Even if an online session, we can have. Okay, work is work, but we have to try to squeeze time. Yeah, so this one, if you see, this is just a sample. Yeah, writing skills. Thank you for your responses, by the way. Thank you for being sincere. That's very important for me. Okay, so performance level, you have this one from 1 to 4, and this is 5 to 6. Okay, but wait. Okay, stop. This is not really a total guide. Okay, why stop? Okay, look at this. Oh boy. Okay, what's the difference? Okay, this one anybody can try to answer. Please do not think, oh, I cannot, after I answer wrongly, finish, shy. No need. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, what's the difference between the performance standards that you saw just now in that table and this performance level? Can anyone try, to attempt to answer or clarify? I would appreciate if you can, unmute and, kind of explain or something. Can anyone?
Shall I try?
Yeah. Who's this? Can you please identify yourself? Sorry? Can you please just say your name, please? Can't hear me, is it? Hello? Can you all hear? Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, who was it just now who wanted to attempt? Oh boy, why am I getting echo now? Can you just mention your name, please? How come no response?
I think she's having problem with her audio. It was teacher Jagdish.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon.
Oh, hi. Yes, Jet.
Can I try?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, basically this one will be at the end. Once you have done like an assessment for all the other relevant skills, and this is like at the, at like what can we say, like a terminal overall performance level for CFR A1, basic user. So that's when you have to sit down. You'll have to probably sit down together with the teachers, because I think, and
correct. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Jagdish. Okay, so this one, if you see, okay, on this page, it says overall performance level for target level CFR. That means at the end of the year, whether they are year 4, year 5, or year 6, even year 1 and 2, okay, 1, 2, and 3, sorry, at the end of the year, you will still have to give that one grade. You know what you call it in bahasa tahap what? What?
Pencapaian.
Yes, tahap pencapaian
Penguasaan.
keseluruhan. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So your overall performance level, then you look at this. The one that you are giving for the skills, that one you refer to the performance
The
standard
can-do
given
statement.
after every skill in your standards-based document. So far, are you clear on this?
Okay, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, let's say I'm in standard 4 now. Okay, so teacher has given me TP1 for listening.
Mm.
Okay, can I get a different TP for reading, writing, and speaking?
Why not?
Yes. Okay.
You may be weak in listening, but you may be good in speaking. You may be good in writing. Maybe your reading is also not so good. Okay, but when you get level 1 for listening, it doesn't necessarily mean that all the other skills will be level 1. That is
Yes.
why you have to actually go according to the descriptors in that what do you call it, standard performance guide that you saw according to skills. Okay, I'm not sure, but I believe by now you would also notice that there are some children, they can be good in speaking, but when it
Yes.
comes to writing, they're not that good, okay. And so you know how you need to know how to grade them. Okay, so that is according to skills. Now, what do you call it? This performance level for the overall performance level, where
Yes.
you refer to this particular table. Okay, you also have to take into account, their work in class, their attitude, whether the participation, those kind of things. You need to actually sit down and consider all that when you give the overall performance level. Okay, it is not about mathematics where you add everything and then you take the what do you call it, purata.
Average.
It's not like that. Yeah. So it's not like, okay, 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2. Okay, there will be 2, 5, 9, 11. Okay, 11 divided by 4. No such thing. Okay, so it goes independently according to the skills. That's why you have to use this form, which actually I don't understand why you cannot use the word transit form. Okay,
Yeah.
a lot of people, they don't like to use the word transit form because it kind of blew out of proportion at one time. It became some chaotic thingy and all that. Okay, so they don't want to use that. Use whatever name you want to, progress report, whatever not, but please go according to the learning standards. Then from there you can see, because you are bound to repeat, your learning standards. Okay, so this is for overall performance. This is not just for reading, writing, and all that. Again, overall performance. So far, is everyone clear about this? Can I see some responses in the chat box, please?
Yeah.
If you do not understand, please ask, because this is meant to be cleared
Good
here.
afternoon, Miss Jerry.
Yes, who's this, please?
I'm Chua here.
Yes, Chua.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. I just wondering about this overall performance level, because from what we had right now is we try to get the standard, okay, our assessment on the standard like 1.1.1 to till 1.3.1 for the year
Learning
5
standard.
learning standard. And what we have here is we try to accumulate them together and then try to give them the overall performance. I'm not sure whether this is the right way to do that, because if, let's say, want the teachers to sit together and discuss about the overall performance level, I don't think so it makes some sense what I'm trying to say. So maybe I can on and let you see what I'm doing right now, because this is what I did for my class. Okay, this is what I have right now. I have all
Wait,
this.
I can't see
Yeah.
because you need to present to show.
Oh, I
Wait,
I need to screenshot
yeah.
then. Okay, it's okay. It's like I have all the standard with me. All right. Then I put all that what did I access to towards them. I put all this mark on that. Then at the end of the columns there, it will be the overall performance level.
No, the overall performance level, you have to refer to this. You get me? Okay. Yes, you will do, overall what is their grade for writing, overall what is their grade.
I can't hear anything. Is it
Same
problem
here,
with
same
my
here.
Yeah, no,
connection?
no.
Or
No,
Yeah,
stand
no,
still.
no.
Stand still.
One, I don't want to go performance level 1. I'm looking at 3 first. Okay. So pupils achieve expectation for the curriculum target. Okay. So that means, if they are possibly on the right track and all that, they can get 3. Okay. Pupils work towards exceeding expectations. That means they have shown good improvement and all that, they can get a 4 overall. Okay. 5, they exceed expectations of the curriculum target. They work, okay. Number 4 is they work towards exceeding expectations. Okay. Level 5, you see, even this you need to see and understand. They are on track. That means it's better. Of course, level 5 is better than level 4. And then level 6 will be, it's like, more of independent. They can help others. They can guide others. Those kind of things. So that's why you need to know, you need to see how to give from one level to the next. Not 4 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2, then you divide, by 4 or whatever, not, or by 10 or something like that. Okay?
Okay, I have another question.
Yeah.
Jerry, sorry, I have another question. Let's say I'm in standard 4. Okay, so that means at the end of year 4, the teacher will have to decide from level 1 to 6 here, performance level, where they are. Let's say I put my child in pupil works towards exceeding expectations for the curriculum target. Okay, I give him a 4. All right. And in year 5, there is a decline. So can he come back to 3? Or must there be a progression? That's my question.
Oh, okay. It actually goes according to the year. So far from what I understand, it actually goes
that's what I
according to the
wanted
year.
clarification.
It doesn't mean if year 4 they're in level 4, year 5 they'll be in level 5. Not necessary. Okay, so we have to
They
see.
can
Of
come
course,
one
our
step
aim
back.
will be. Yes, because it depends on the performance.
Content
Actually, if
also.
they do better, we give them better.
Okay.
If maybe year 4 they did okay, but year 5 they decline, then you have to really sit and kind of like maybe have a committee, not committee lah. I mean like your panel
your
or something
PVD
like
kind
that
of
and
thing, yeah.
discuss. That's why
Okay.
when you all do it in the year, you actually need to have what is called the end
sorry,
in
whose
mind.
bell keeps ringing? I'm sorry, it's really annoying.
No, it's mine. It's
I'm sorry.
message.
I'm sorry.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
it's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay. Never mind. I will put this on silent because I'm scared sometimes
Yeah, I
emergency
understand.
things come in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So actually that's why you need to have this end in mind. So when let's say you get a child, you are a year 5 teacher, you
Yes.
get this boy by the name of Rashid, he got a 4 overall. So your target will also be for this child this year. I don't want him to go back to 3 or maybe remain in 4. I want him to go to 5. So then you will also prioritize. Not prioritize as into him alone.
Yes.
That means one of your goals will be to push this boy further up to go up to level 5. Yeah?
That's excellent. Okay. Thank you.
All right? Okay. All right, welcome. So I move on. Okay. It's 3:20. Okay. So this is listening. Okay, I'm not going to cover all what do you call it, every slide. I'm just going to show you. Okay. This one is in the textbook. Okay, I ask you to have your textbook, right? Okay, so this one has something to do with that. Okay, listen to an audio on the activities, okay, of those who are at John's party, ask questions as well as give responses. This is the ABCD. I'm not going to dwell deep into this. Okay, so this is here, and then from here, I came up with the success criteria. Okay, so you have, this is listening. So your main skill is listening. Okay, and then your complementary will be speaking. So you have the listening as well as the speaking part of it in your learning objectives. Okay, and then in your success criteria, okay, listen. Always remember, try your very best when it's listening. Get them to listen to an audio. So maybe you kind of like record something on your phone, so maybe you can play there, or you can save it on your YouTube channel, whatever. Even if you're taking, an audio text from YouTube or something like that, is also okay. Yeah, but try to make it an audio thingy. Okay, not I say, you listen, or rather the teacher say and then you listen. Okay, that doesn't really work out. That's not really the actual concept. Okay, it's only part of it, right? Okay, so you have, and then practice. Notice the words that I use. Practice and use more than 2 types of questions and answer patterns based on the information in the table. So sentence patterns are also very important for you to teach them first. You must teach them the sentence patterns on what to speak, because this is not their native language. But you must do in English. So you must speak in English. That's the reason I always tell you not to translate, whether it's to Bahasa, to Chinese, to Tamil, whatever other language. Okay, so please focus when it's English language, focus on English. Okay, 1 or 2 teachers actually questioned me and said, why can't you use the translation? If you keep translating, why are you bothering to teach English language? You may as well just teach the other language, no need to translate. See or not? There's a reason you are learning the skills for the English language. Okay, so now that you're doing it online, somewhere you can use pictures. Anywhere you can access pictures and show what is the meaning of this, what is the meaning of that. Why do you need to translate to Bahasa or Chinese or in Tamil? For all the different schools. Okay, so use the sources that you have. Okay, this also. Look at the activities. Pupils listen to the audio. Okay, and then there's a template. And remember, whenever you get them to listen to an audio or whether to watch a video, always give the worksheet first, the task, so that they will know what to look out for. Don't just say, okay, now you watch the video. And then after watching the video, you will, okay, what do you see just now? It's like, wow, that's such a big question. Okay, very big scope. Okay, so always give them the task so they know what to look out for. Even if it is an audio text, give them the task first. Okay, if you need to teach the words first before you give them the audio text, then they will know what to look out for once they have practiced already. Okay, and then the simple assessment, okay, is responding to traffic lights, thumbs up, thumbs down, clap, stamp your feet, snap your fingers, things like that. Okay, and then here, pupils repeat the question and answer patterns demonstrated by the teacher. Okay, drawing attention to the intonation, the pronunciation. My dear people, a gentle reminder and a repeated reminder that when you want to look out for pronunciation and intonation, it is done in the speaking lesson, not the reading lesson. Okay, I will show you later. Okay, so they practice, they do a simulation. Okay, now how to relate speaking? Okay, go to this. So you have level 1, can display minimal understanding. Okay, I've cut which one, those that are not related. Okay, so I've simplified this for you. So I hope it will really help you. Okay, I do not want to dwell so much in this because I want to go deeper for the classroom-based assessment later. Okay, so I will skip this. Okay, this is listening as well. Okay, so you see I've kind of like, cut out whatever is not related. Okay, so listening, I have given you 3 suggestions of activities. Okay, right. So I'm moving on to speaking. Okay, um I'm going to move to the second activity. Okay, this one, amazing animals. Okay, page 88 in the textbook. Okay, so the main here is narrate short basic stories. Complementary is language arts. Say in simple words and phrases how a text makes them feel. Okay, again, the main learning standard is speaking here, 2.3.1. Language arts is only the complementary learning standard. Okay, so by the end of the papers, by the end of the lesson, people should be able to narrate short basic stories about animals that they had read or created previously and use simple words and phrases to express their feelings. Okay, I put here narrate short basic stories about animals. And again, you can actually use the flip classroom method, if you want them like to read stories of any animal. Okay, it's not one particular animal. The teacher said, okay, go and read about elephant. So everybody has to go and read about the elephant. Then you don't have a variety. Okay. For me, which I also want to suggest to you is always give the pupils choices. Okay, when you give them choices, when they get to choose what they want, it gives them that sense of belonging, a bit of autonomy for the pupils, not only the teachers holding the power. Okay, so you share. Okay, you're giving empowerment to the children. Okay, so here, success criteria, okay, take at least 10 minutes to go through their notes. Okay, this one is assuming you had already given them much earlier, flip classroom, whether it's they get a story, from a storybook, from what they've experienced, they've heard and things like that, then they check for information and then they narrate their stories. Okay, when I put here, they narrate the stories in groups or individually. So for the better pupils, they will be able to do it individually. For the weaker pupils, they may try to also do it individually. Doesn't mean they must do it in groups. But there are children who may want to do it in groups. Again, it's up to you how you organize, the ways that you want to give them choices. Okay. In one story, perhaps one person can, narrate. Maybe the story has three, three paragraphs. So one person can actually narrate one paragraph. Then the other one will continue. The other one will continue. Okay. Now, even in this, when they narrate the story, a gentle reminder not to be rigid, okay, for them to retell every word of the story. Okay, if they can do it in their own way, let them be. Okay, so don't stick to, okay, this is not according to the script. No, don't be rigid in that sense. Okay, then they can express their feelings about the story, or maybe words or phrases that they had learned, first time, things like that. Okay. So here, see, pupils may be shown a video of a child narrating a story. So when you share with them first, then they get the idea. We just tell them to do it, they, will quickly take 10 steps back or 20 steps back. Okay, always do kind of like a mini demonstration. Okay, how it's to be done, I can't quite tell you because only you know you are managing your class. Okay, and then discuss on the video, like, okay, what is important? Okay, eye contact, and then you must say things clearly. You have to watch your pronunciation, your intonation, or people who are listening will get different meanings, or they may not understand, that kind of thing. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to draw. Yes, number 5, pupils are assessed on their language, pace, and clarity. Okay, don't assess on that same day. They need a bit of practice. When you think they are ready to be assessed, then you assess. Okay. I encourage other pupils to give feedback and assessment. Okay. How to relate to the performance standard? Okay, so narrate will be 2. So 2.3.1. Okay, so you can see here the difference. between, each level. Okay, so you have, difficulty even with a lot of support. Okay, with a lot of support. Adequately will be you think, it's suitable for their level. Okay, or year 4 level or whatever, using the words that are in the year 4 book or in your what do you call it, vocabulary list and all that. That's adequate. Okay, and then you also have the pacing and then the diction and articulation. If you do not know the meanings of this word, please look them up. Okay. Okay, next one, reading skill. Okay, let me see. Okay, I will go to okay, this is getting active. Okay. The main one is read and enjoy A1 fiction. Okay. Now you also need to know the levels, for each of the learning. I mean, the learning standard year 4 is basically A1, right? So what do you call it? So looking at it, okay, now this one I adapted, okay, in page 93. If you refer to your textbook, okay, 93 will be unit 9. Okay, get active. I hope you all have your textbooks with you. Okay, I hope you have your textbooks with you. So on page 93, you have the, what do you call it, text, or I think there's a song. Okay, I didn't quite listen to the song yet. I do not know what tune, but then again, there was one song that I heard. It was like so rock tune, not easy to catch the rhythm and things like that. Adapt it. Okay, I will show you later. Now, so sports, okay, looking at this, if it were me, I would adapt it and I won't call it sports. I would change maybe sports, my likes and dislikes. Okay, and then relate it to the people's likes and dislikes. Okay, then create a parallel poem of 3 stanzas relating to their likes and dislikes with pictures or other materials. Okay, so this one, read the poem, circle 5 out of 6. List more than 4 types of sports. Okay, create a parallel poem. Okay, I hope you understand what is parallel poem, right? Something quite similar. Maybe you want to change certain things there, okay, or you want to change the name of the sport or something like that. Okay. Okay, so you have, okay, so people play a game of charades, Kahoot, quizzes and all that. Okay. And then number 3, pupils list the sports that they like and dislike in a table. This one also you can give them a template, maybe they can fill in. Okay, and then pupils create a parallel poem, okay, using the information. Maybe here is like, I like ice skating. Maybe they want to say, maybe I like what do you call it? Maybe swimming or something like that. Okay, and then pupils' work or product must be displayed on a wall of fame. Okay, so all this is just ideas. Okay, and it won't happen, of course, on the same day. It may be 2 or 3 lessons. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I've just stated here some examples. Wall of fame. Okay, maybe a show board. Okay, maybe a my home slot instead of the normal show and tell. You use your creativity and come up with something. Once it's all done, then you assess them. Okay, so here also you see, haltingly with a lot of support. Okay, things like this, again, my suggestion, please do like a PLC. If you need to invite me or invite any of our trainers to join you in a PLC, to discuss and to clarify, because it's already 3:35. I can't really go deep into this. Okay. Okay, this is writing. Okay. Okay, this is the camping trip. Let me see if I have another. Okay, eating right. This is page 50, 51. Okay, so 50, 51. Okay, so this is produce a plan or draft of 1 paragraph for a familiar topic and modify this appropriately in response to feedback. Okay, and complementary will be speaking, how describe people, objects and whatnot. Okay, now I don't know whether you have ever asked this question. Now, it says here, describe people and objects, right? But if you look at this topic, it's about eating right, and everything is like food, okay? Are food, or rather is food, considered as objects? Food per se, they're not considered objects. They're considered objects when you consider it, when you look at it as like, you know, on page 50, you have a bag of crisps, a carton of milk, a piece of cake, okay, maybe a dozen eggs, you know, those kind of things. When they come in like, I don't know, certain units like packets and all that, they are considered as objects. I looked this up, okay. But if you just say maybe like just eggs and milk, they are not considered as objects, okay. They have to come into some solid form, then it's considered as objects, okay. So plan or draft a written paragraph describing their friend. Okay, of course the friend description is probably something simple, and then the list of food items bought by their friend based on the items on page 50. Okay, so it can either be based here. If for the better children they want to, you know, choose other food items, that's up to them, and that's up to you as the manager to, you know, for you to measure and decide on what you want. Okay, then you modify and improve on the paragraph drafted based on the peers and teachers' feedback. Okay, so you can look at the success criteria. Okay, so you refer. So you see, I've given examples of cooking oil, a packet of potato chips, or crisp, or something like that. Okay, then discuss the sample paragraph. Okay, and then they can write like a parallel paragraph. You change certain words and things like that. Okay. My number 4 ran a bit. Modify or edit the paragraph from feedback given by rewriting the paragraph. Sorry. Modify or edit the paragraph from feedback given by rewriting the paragraph. That means, you know, the friends or the teachers or what wants to give feedback, then maybe the person, you know, whether it's individual or in groups, you rewrite the paragraph, but of course after making the necessary modification. Okay, so here is an example as well. Okay, if you look at number 3, people start drafting out a similar paragraph with the layout, guidelines, supporting questions by the teacher. As they draft out, they are reminded to use suitable punctuation marks. Okay, extra guidance is given, of course. Okay, they can share with more proficient pupils. As you see, here you take into consideration when you have better pupils in your class who can assist, you know, this actually adds on to their yearly overall, what they call it, performance level as well, you know. Okay, so it's not just the teacher. You can get other pupils, better pupils you have, yeah, to help you and help the children. Okay, so then you look at the writing, what do you call it, the descriptors for writing, and what do you call it? Okay, here also you have plan, draft a paragraph, okay, in response to feedback with a lot of support. Okay, okay, number 3 has like no support, right? Okay, relevant details, some relevant details and things like that. Okay, language arts. Okay, one reminder about language arts will be, it must be taken from the 3 genres provided by BPK or KPM. You cannot take from any other book and then consider it as language arts. Okay. So here, contemporary children's literature, it's not considered as a skill, yeah. It is just, what do you call it? This is for aesthetic values, okay. This is for them, for you to teach them how to appreciate literature. And this one is considered as, you know, children's contemporary literature. So it's like, you know, children's stories and things like that. Why do you need to teach them? You need to lay the foundation. When you teach them now, for example, year 4, I really love year 4 because I taught year 4. Okay, so you know, it's like very creative. So many, you know, values to learn. So many, what do you call it? A lot of how to say, like thoughts, you know, higher order thinking skills, a lot of values and things like that. Once you put that love for literature in year 4, they slowly learn a bit more in year 5, a bit more in year 6, and then they are ready to learn higher levels of literature. Okay, when they go to secondary schools. Okay, this is like what we call it in Malay, apresiasi kesenian. Okay, appreciating the arts. Okay. And then, okay, this is what, this is step by step. Okay, this is one, this is King of Kites. Did I do another? I think I did another. Yeah, I did another. Okay, this one is the anthology of poems. Okay, holiday memories. Yeah. So this one they say in simple words and phrases how X makes them feel. Now, anthology of poems, sorry, this holiday memories, if I'm not mistaken, it has like 8 stanzas. Am I right? Okay. You don't have to finish all the 8 stanzas in one lesson. Maybe according to your pupils' level, you may only do 2 stanzas this week. Then the next round, you come to language arts, then you do, excuse me, another 2. You don't have to do all 8 at one go. Nobody expects that. Okay. Again, it depends on the level of your pupils. Okay. Now, see, I put here, they should be able to recite in a jazz chant. Now, this is assuming you have taught them what is a jazz chant. Okay, and in jazz chants, you know, you can do the hitting of the table, you know, clapping, whatever not. Okay, and there are certain parts that are repeated. Okay, so let's say they focus on the first 2 stanzas. If you notice, I stated here, and then make predictions on the choices of the character. Okay, you see the guy is like, you know, with a black eye and things like that, right? So share the reasons for the predictions. You see, so doing the complimentary, give reasons for simple predictions. Okay, why do you think he has a black eye? Why did he choose to go only to that place? You know, that kind of thing. Okay, how they would alter the poem. This is where you get them to use the creativity to change. To kind of think, you know, at a higher level. Okay. So here, for example, okay, discuss the contents of the 2 stanzas and all that. Okay, make more than 2 predictions on the choice of places and activities of the character. Why you think he chose to go to Timbuktu? You know, those kind of things. Okay. Use at least 2 words and phrases verbally and in writing to express their feelings. You know, so this one also is not how to say, not a very rigid thing. It's actually more of a fun thing, yeah, of learning the language. Yeah. Alter and rewrite more than 2 lines of any of the 2 stanzas. This is all suggestion, yeah. Okay. So if you are familiar with the language, Timbuktu actually, you know, refers to a place very far away. Not that it doesn't exist, it does exist. My late mother used to like, you know, where you want me to go? You want to go to Timbuktu? You know, that kind of thing. It just comes out automatically. Okay, so Timbuktu is a very far away place. Okay, somewhere in Africa. Okay, so you know, they discuss Timbuktu, so you can teach them things like this. You see, things that they don't know. Maybe they've never heard of this Timbuktu. So maybe you want them to ask, you want to ask them to, you know, kind of like find and why Timbuktu, you know, those kind of things. Okay, why the jungle was chosen, not a city, you know, those kind of things. Yeah, okay. Write the feelings and all that. Okay, this is only the first page of the LA lesson. Continue the next page in the next LA lesson and things like that. How much you do, only you know. Okay, now look at the assessment. Now the performance standard, there is no performance standard for language arts, right? Because in language arts, it's supposed to be a culmination of all the skills, right? So the assessment, if you want, can be done based on, just now it was language arts and speaking, right? Giving reasons for simple predictions. If you want, you can assess them on 2.1.4. Okay? So you see, you are repeating this. You know, you may have done this in some other topic, but you're doing it again. So you're actually giving them chances to improve, right? Okay. So the ideas of activities shared here are merely suggestions, okay, for the teachers and the fun learning process of the pupils. This is not ending yet, yeah. This is only about the kind of learning objective success criteria. Okay. The activities planned here may be for, I'm not going to read everything. I'm going to give you probably about a minute or less than that to just run through. Okay? Okay. So, do you wish to take about 1 or 2 minutes break before we proceed? I don't want to kind of like, wait too long. So, yeah. Okay. Do you all need maybe, I don't know, a loo break, water break, or something like that? Do I have questions? I thought I saw. I think the raised hands were nearly for my questions just now, right? Oh, Razi, do you have a question, Muhammad Razi? Do you have a question, Muhammad Razi?
No, no.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Where are you from, Cik Razi?
From Kajang, SK Sarjana Impian
Okay.
Girls.
That's nice. Nice to have you here. Welcome.
Just received the info from Puan Haja. So try to join lah.
Very good. I hope it's helpful.
Thank you for the sharing.
No problem. Got a bit more. No, not finished. Not done yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now I am. Okay. Can I proceed now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yogeshwari. Yogeshwari Devi, did you want to ask? Do you have a question to ask or something? No? I see a hand raised. No? Okay. Maybe you're having some audio issues. Yeah? Okay.
Miss Jerry,
Yes.
I have a question here. Can you hear me?
LV.
Yeah, from Asunta. For example, for my year 1 students, okay, some of them, they still can read, but they are very good at speaking. So let's say if I give them for speaking, I give them band 4 and, reading like band 2. So how am I going to, at the end of the year,
performance level measure.
Yeah, because I'm still because before this we give the average, but then you said that is not the correct way to assess the student. So how am I to decide label should I give to the students? That's my question.
Are you referring to the overall performance level?
Yeah, overall. So how am I going to decide?
Okay, so then okay, once you assess, right, let's say somebody has to mute. Nalini, can you please mute your mic? Okay, can the co-host mute Nalini's mic, please? Okay, thank you. Right. So when you give these pupils, okay, for example, reading, you said you only can give performance level 2, right? Do try to look every, I don't know, maybe month or so, have a look at the progress report, okay, and see which people that you need to push up, from level 2 to level 3. Try not to leave them at level 1 or level 2. So create opportunities, for them. Maybe you want to kind of like help them, or maybe get another teacher maybe, or the parent, to help to maybe the child is weak in, maybe understanding meanings, or vocabulary or something like that. Maybe the parents can help, or maybe you have another teacher, or you yourself try to create opportunities, okay, or windows to help this child move from this level 2 to level 3. If you can, I'm saying, okay, if you can. But you cannot take the average, okay? once, let's say the best is 2. You tried also still 2. Okay. So you have to take into consideration all the what you call it, the assessments, okay, for all the skills for all the learning standards under reading. And then from there you have to do a professional judgment again. That's why I say it's very subjective. It is very subjective. Nobody can tell you exactly what to do. But it is only fair to do that way as compared to maths. You calculate everything and then you take the average. That's not fair. That's worse for them. Okay? So if they are good in speaking, then yes, they will get a better performance level for speaking. But for reading, this is the level. But again, as I said, try your very best to, create opportunities so that the pupils can get a better grade. We don't expect everybody also to get, at year 1 itself, you get, level 4, level 5. Some, yes, can get level 6. Those that are maybe native speakers, those who practice, speaking English at home and all that, it's not impossible. Okay, this is again one of the issues that was brought up by the officers in JPS. How come PETALING UTAMA for English? Nobody got grade 6, and I'm thinking, actually there are. I understand that. Hold on, hello, next. Thank you. Okay, I can understand that you all are afraid to give performance level 6. Okay, maybe you don't want to. It's not wrong. Okay, but maybe you don't want to during the mid-year assessment or exam or something like that. But then you do have children who actually can speak very well, and if they can, help their children, their peers and things like that, I think they qualify for level 6. But you also still need to refer to the descriptors. Okay. Does it help you with this, Elvina?
Yeah, very clear. Thank you, Ms. Sherry.
Okay, welcome. So I will proceed, yeah? So this is again a sample of a classroom-based assessment for the skill of speaking. Okay, now I want you to draw your attention to this page in your standards-based document, the DSKP, okay? The reason for teaching speaking here, okay, the focus here, if you look, okay, is the pupil's ability to communicate with others, okay? The ability to use strategies when interacting with others, okay? That's about speaking, okay? Then, if you look at paragraph 2, okay, pupils need to develop these skills simultaneously over the school year, and we learn from opportunities to practice different speaking skills. So you see, you are the person who demonstrates, and then they learn from you, and then they practice. When they practice with one another using the sentence patterns that you have given, then slowly it will develop their skill. Okay, but if everything, for example, they want to drink water also, you have never taught them how to say it in English language. Cikgu, saya nak minum air, cikgu, saya nak ke tandas, cikgu, kenapa kamera saya tak on? Those kind of things all, my dear people, you need to teach them the basics. If you don't do, if that also you do in Bahasa, how do you expect them to speak properly in English when they don't even know the basics? They can't express themselves. I'm happy today. I learned this today. It's very hard, to hear people speaking that nowadays. Okay, because I'm sorry to say, in this instance, many teachers are speaking, giving instructions, everything in BM, in Chinese, whether it's Mandarin, Cantonese, I'm not too sure, and then in Tamil. Okay, so you need to change this attitude. Those days we used to have this, whoever spoke in a language other than English language during an English language lesson, you have to pay a fine. From 5 cents went to 10 cents, to 20 cents, and then became a big issue, the PTA, or in BM, it's PIVG, make noise, teachers taking and using the money, and we're like, okay, it depends. Well, some teachers misused that, okay, abused that, okay. So if those days we can do it, I'm not talking about the fining with the money and whatever, not, yeah. But if those days the teachers could do it, why can't the teachers nowadays do it? Because simple things, you know, as you talk, you will say like, you have to do this can. The word can comes out. Okay. I can't quite think of examples at the moment, but you need to control the use of your, whether it's VM, you know, your mother tongue in what do you call it, in the teaching of the English language. You need to be aware to control. Okay, so that's why I wanted to draw your attention to the objective of teaching speaking, because I know some will say, you know, you don't have the time to go through word for word, you know, but the document standard you must know. Everywhere from the top, from KPM, JPN, everywhere they say the teachers must master the standards-based document. Okay, so you need to know also the objective of teaching a particular skill, right? So the ones on the right, okay, the objectives here are what they have put in as the learning standard. Okay, now I'm coming to this, day one. Now, this is assuming if I were the teacher. Okay, again, I don't force you to do it, but I'm sharing my idea with you. Not easy for me to come up as well. Okay, it took me a few days also to kind of like plan things like this. Okay, so I went to what's the matter, which is unit 10, right? Unit 10. Okay, so there are focus words here. There are so many focus words here. Okay, so I just put one here. Now, if it were me, again, main learning standard would be 2.2.1, you refer. Okay, complementary will be 1.3.1, that's speaking, listening. So it's speaking and listening, right? So here, the teacher acts out. Okay, sometimes the teacher, you know, you have to do a bit of drama. Yeah, so you dramatize it, you know, kind of like be the actor of the day or things like that. Okay, so the teacher here acts out, you know, teacher coughs, the teacher has a headache, you know, and then the pupils have to guess the condition. Okay, I hope you have found what 2.2.1 refers to and 1.3.1 what that refers to. Okay, so then share pictures, okay, showing the above. That means you can take pictures from page 103 in the textbook. You may not take all the pictures. Again, how many pictures you take, it's up to you depending on the level of your pupils. Okay, so pupils will guess from the pictures, no words. Okay, so they just guess the meaning of that, or you want to show maybe the words and then maybe later show the pictures. That's up to you. Okay, then play the audio given or adapted. Okay, I listened to this song. I looked at this 1, 2, 3, 4 verses. Okay, I listened to the song. I got kind of a rock tune. If your pupils can follow, well and good. If your pupils can't follow, adapt it. Okay, so if it were me, based on a lot of the children, because I used to always teach very weak children, okay, I adapted. Okay, so I just show you. I hide this. Yeah, I just show you how I adapted this. So this, if it were me, if I were the teacher, I would teach it like this. Okay, I would adapt it to this, and I would only focus on the toothache, the headache, and the stomachache. Okay, so what do you call it? I would kind of like use it a bit to the tune of like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you know, something like that. Okay, I will sing one just for what do you call it, for your reference. What's the matter, my friend? I have a toothache. Why the toothache? Because of the candy that I ate. Okay, something like that. Something that is simple, it is catchy, where the pupils can follow the rhythm. Okay, not something that is so out of the ordinary that the teacher also cannot get, but worse still for the pupils to follow. Okay, and then like, I don't know, if your pupils can follow, go ahead. But if it were me, this is what I would do. So I focus also on headache because it's easy to show toothache. Okay, headache. Okay, headache is usually here, right? Because this one is confusing with fever. Okay, and then stomachache. Okay, so then get pupils to practice, okay, the sentence. So just now was the singing, right? So get pupils to sing along, do the actions and things like that. Okay, then get pupils to practice to speak the sentence patterns, whether it's a class. So in this, you will look at the note below, focus on the pupils' pronunciation, enunciation, articulation, intonation, words, grammar. If you notice, grammar is throughout the skills, all the 4 skills. Okay, looking at the time as well, it's 4 o'clock now. So it goes through all the skills, yeah. Okay, then get okay, if you can, you add in the words fever, flu, cough and all that using the same pattern, but teach them again the pronunciation, the intonation and all that. Okay, then pupils can interchange. This can be done as peer assessment, just just among them. Okay, and not a proper assessment just yet. Okay, now this is assuming what I would do on day 1. Then I will move on to day 2. Day 2, okay. My suggestion here for set induction, share pictures of the words learned. That means the stomachache, earache and all that. But this time around, don't take from the textbook. Take another picture of somebody having a stomachache or somebody having a headache or something like that. This is where we want them to connect the dots to see whether they can associate what we learned yesterday to today with different pictures but same meaning. Okay, and then the pupils guess them. Okay, then have a discussion perhaps on causes or treatments, things like that. Then play the song again. Okay, then the pupils practice the sentence patterns and all that. Okay, and then they do the actions. That's optional. Okay, then you can start to do the assessment. If you think they are ready, you can start the assessment. And when you do the assessment, you also refer to the performance standard guide. Okay, give the pupils time and support that they need. Then from there, you will know whether it's level 1, level 2, level 3, and things like that. Okay, focus on doing assessment for those who are not able to or do not respond outside the online lesson. So you see, this is also another reminder, because I know some people, they do not, it's not easy to get them to respond even during the lesson, right? So imagine outside the lesson. Okay, so focus on that. So for the others, you may assess them maybe through video calls, maybe through WhatsApp calls, up to you. Okay, now this is the performance standard for reading. Speaking. Okay, so this one 2 to 1 was keep interaction going in short exchanges. Okay, so it's about 3 or 4 more turns if you use like 1, 2 words and all that. Okay, so this is longer, right? So here, how to differentiate? Look at level 1 with the short and simple responses, but with a lot of support. 2, with also a lot of support, okay, but maybe slightly longer than the short and simple responses. Okay, then 3, if you look at 2 and 3, it's about the same, but 2 has with a lot of support. So assuming 3 will be maybe no support, or maybe a little less support from this, a lot of support. Again, teachers, it's subjective. Okay, then okay, 4 will be, okay, can manage appropriately by sustaining communication. Sustaining communication, that means they can continue to speak and answer, speak and answer. They may not, maybe in this week when you teach this, they can only get up to level 3. Maybe, in the next topic, if you're teaching this skill, perhaps they can do a bit better, then you can raise them to 4 or maybe 5, things like this. Okay, 6 will be naturally, means perhaps, native speaker, or maybe you don't be surprised, there will be children in the beginning a bit slow, but once maybe with all the interest, the effort that you have taken, the methods that you use, all your activities, very encouraging, very fun, give them a lot of impact, very fast you can learn. Okay, so can you imagine, even in a Felda school, I got people of year 1 or year 2 who could read newspapers at that time, and the others were just still struggling to even read ABCD. Okay, right. So now we shall have activity. Okay, so I will hold on, I will go to this. Okay, okay, I have an activity for you. Okay, right. This one. Okay. I hope you will cooperate and take part in this. Did I? Okay. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay, here. Yeah. So that was on speaking, right? Okay. So this activity time, okay, you are successful if you are able to categorize and arrange in order 3 out of 6 worksheets shown according to the sequence in the performance levels for reading. Okay, just now we did for speaking, right? You saw how we did day 1 and day 2, and then when you assess, you need to refer to the standard performance guide, right? So now we're going to do an activity for reading. Okay, I don't have the time, it's already 4 past, right? So I can't do for all the skills. Okay, so I'm going to concentrate only on speaking and reading, okay, for today. Okay, so now when you give an activity, before you give the activity, always give your instructions first. If you notice, if you give, whether it's face to face or not, let's say physical face to face, you give everything to the children and then you expect them to listen to you, and then half the time you'll be shouting, listen, I'm going to give you instructions. They won't bother because they already have, you know, the materials and all that. They won't bother to listen to you. So always give the instructions before you begin the activity. Okay. Okay. So please refer to your standards-based curriculum document for the related skill. Okay. Turn to the page with the performance standard guide for reading skills. Okay. How come it all went to one? It's okay. Ignore the numbers, please. Yeah? Turn to the page with the performance standard guide. Oh, sorry, I've done that. Okay, a set of slides or worksheets in a random sequence will be shown. Okay, so they are all just randomly shown to you. Categorize each worksheet according to the performance levels. Okay, while referring to the standard performance guide. So you can try without referring to the guide, or if you wish to refer, go ahead. Okay, and once the time is up, fill your answers in the poll section in the Google Meet. So don't do anything to the polls yet. Okay, we shall do the activity first. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Only one person is ready, yeah? Wait, where am I? Yeah, okay. All right. So, this is your learning standard. 3.2.2, understand specific information and details, okay, of simple text of 1 or 2 paragraphs. Okay. If you're ready, we can start. Okay. Okay, ready, yeah? Oh, before I begin, don't do your polls yet. You kind of like, you know, note down, yeah, the performance levels for the slides that I'm giving. And then once, you know, everything is shown, then you fill in your poll once it's launched, okay? All right, yeah? So let's start. Okay, this is slide 1. If you wish, you can refer to page 72 in your textbook. Okay, done. So you need to state what performance level this is, not in the chat box. You keep it to yourself. Afterwards, you can put it in the poll. Okay? Next, slide 2. Slide 3. Slide 4. Slide 5. Sorry, slide 6. Okay, done. Are we all okay? Oh, the year 4 textbook, my dear. Page 72, the year 4 textbook. The student's book. I only have the student's book. I don't have the teacher's book. Okay, are we done? Are we done? Do you need to look at the slides again? I need some responses, please. Do we need to look at the slides again? Oh, okay, all right. So we shall go back to the slides earlier. Okay. Slide 1. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Okay. Okay. So now, okay. Now I'm going to stop presenting. Okay. So now, okay. Now you can go to the activity button on extreme right bottom with the three different shapes, right? The triangle, the square, and the circle there. Okay. Click that and go to the poll. Okay. Thank you. Okay. And then you can begin to answer. Has it been launched?
They are nothing. Yes. Just launch.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry, no more reshowing of slides. I can do this to you because you are teachers, so you don't do this to the pupils, okay? Yes, you. All of you are participating. Why do I see only about 25 votes out of about nearly 200 people? Yeah. For information, I've not done. I mean, I'm not done, or rather, the session is not over yet. Yeah. Okay. Can we just wait for about another minute, and then we stop? Ah, I see. Okay. The line is low. Okay. Belum. Okay. So we stop the polls now. Yeah. Okay. We end this poll now, and then I will go back to the other slide. Let's have a look. Can the results be shown, please? Can we end the poll and the results be shown, please? Okay, so we've got for slide 1, more people did performance level 1. Slide 2, more for performance level 4. Slide 3, performance level 5. Slide 4, performance level 1. Slide 5, performance level 6. Slide 6, performance level 2. Okay. Thank you for the participation in the polls. Okay. So let's have a look. Okay. Let me see as well. Okay. So let's look at this. Okay. So this was reading, right? Okay. Okay. Before I go into that, I'd like to draw your attention to why we teach reading. Okay. So reading here will focus on the pupil's ability to learn how to read, to understand meaning, to read independently for enjoyment. Okay. So it is to understand globally, yeah, the understanding of what they read. Although not so much comprehension question, it is yes for comprehension, okay, for them to understand, to comprehend what messages or information and things like that. Okay. And where is this? Okay. So you have understanding the main idea, specific information, guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from clues provided. So that's why remember, like even just now I said, you know, you show the pictures, okay, and then you get the from there they can guess the meaning. And if you also see here that they recommend the use of simple monolingual dictionary, not from English to Bahasa, okay, monolingual dictionary, right? Okay, and then you see A1 fiction, non-fiction, okay. So most important here is when they read, they understand the meaning of what they read, not to pronounce correctly, okay. Intonation, yes, maybe you can help them, but pronunciation and all that comes more in speaking, okay. So this is performance level 1, okay. Can somebody share with me why is this considered as performance level 1? You can unmute and you can share. And those who have been very silent, I don't know whether, Zulfikri, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Why is this considered as performance level 1?
Because this one, the picture or illustration as a guidance for the pupils to fill up all the answers lah, to help them to carry out these activities. So I think this is for PL1 lah, because they based on the stimulus given to them, they can try to carry out this activity.
Okay, it's simple to also draw only to the relevant picture. Thank you, Zulfikri. Okay, coming to this, level 1 can display minimal understanding of the main idea, specific information and details, okay, with a lot of support. So your pictures there is considered as a lot of support. Okay, next, this is performance level 2. What's the difference with the performance level 1? They're very similar, but there is a slight difference. Can anyone else share, please? Do you have Aina here? Oh, okay, Atika. Yes, Atika.
Okay, so basically this one, rather than we are using pictures, we are using words or maybe phrases. It means that the student needs to know the meaning of the word first before they can match from the phrases to the word given, or from the sentence to the word given.
Correct. Okay. Now, this is performance level 1 and level 2. Okay. Before I continue my explanation, look at performance level 2. Can display some understanding of the main idea, specific and information and details with a lot of support. Okay. So this is also a lot of support. Now, when I say performance level 1 and performance level 2, does it mean I only give this worksheet or this one, okay lah, this one all PL1, so I'll only give PL1 worksheet. This one all PL2, I'll only give them PL2 worksheet. Does it work that way? Does it work that way? That means, do you discriminate in giving the task to the pupils? Level 1 only gets level 1 worksheet. Does it work that way? No. Okay, Yap Suping, can you share please? If you don't mind. Why not? Yap Suping? Is it wrong? Is it wrong to give level 2 worksheet to level 1 pupil whom you consider as level 1? Okay, is it wrong to give a level 2 worksheet to them?
I think to give according to their level.
Yeah, okay. So let's say this boy, okay, what do you call it? Asun, okay, he's usually level 1. What do you only stop at giving the level 1 worksheet? Can you give him level 2 as well if he has finished and if he has done correctly?
Yeah. If
Yes, you can.
Continue.
Yes, you
With the
give
next
him
one.
level 2. Yes, to try to see whether he can do level 2. If he can also do level 2, try level 3. You know, things like that. what I'm trying to share with you all here is, if they are of level 2, don't just remain only until level 2 worksheet. Always remember, I said just now, try to get opportunities for them to do better and better. Okay, this is only being based on this particular learning standard 3.2.2. Okay, so doesn't mean if they are of that level, you must only give that one level. Okay, this is level 3. Okay, so here your level 3, okay, you still have pictures just like level 1. Level 2, no pictures. So what's the difference between level 2 and level 3? What's the difference between level 2 and level 3? Here, by right, the teacher should be expecting level 3, right? Adequate, right? So maybe this one, level 3, the children should write, Sandy picked up 50 bottles instead of just writing one word bottles only. Here will be Anna picked up 20 cans instead of just writing one word answers. So that qualifies for level 3. Okay? So it is just more than, what do you call it? More than one word. Okay? Maybe this one, if you take out the word his, maybe, you know, it can be his sleeping bag, something like that. Okay? But something extra, you know, that's level 3, something that's adequate. Okay? But is it wrong if they answer with one word? Yes, it's not wrong. You can accept as well. But do you think it is suitable for level 3? That's another question. Okay, look at this. Performance level 3, descriptor can understand. Okay, no of, can understand the main idea, specific information and details of simple text of 1 or 2 paragraphs by responding adequately to given tasks. Okay, so this is adequate based on, there is a guide, you know, not there's also no guidance at all. The guide is the text on page 72. And again, assuming you give it as flipped classroom, but of course not all the children can just do it as flipped classroom activity. They still need to do in your lesson. Okay, so this one will be level 4. If you see 3 and 4, they are quite similar, but 3 has a bit more support with pictures and whatnot to give them ideas. But for level 4, okay, if they can do level 3, give them the level 4 worksheet and see whether they can do without the pictures, you know, things like that. Okay, level 4 can understand, okay, by responding clearly to given tasks most of the time. Okay, so if they can do better than 3, then you can give them a 4. Okay, again on this learning standard. Okay, this is level 5. Complete the sentences, okay, based on the text. Okay, so this one, there's no guidance. The guidance is the text on page 72. But does it mean that the teacher cannot help? No, the teacher can help. Okay, but again, you must also see. There's another thing I want to, never mind. Next one, can understand, okay, by responding clearly to given tasks with ease. So those who can actually do it, you know, no problem, or maybe slight problem or something, they deserve a level 5 in this sense. Okay, this is level 6. And if you see, it is not, it is a bit independent, but again, it is also based on the text on page 72. They describe in 5 sentences. Okay, now, here they will write out the sentence. Okay, some of you, before I can allow you to ask, some of you may question me and say, oh, then if you ask them to write like this, then it is writing skill. No, it is not the writing skill, okay, because this is actually based on their reading of the text on page 72. Based on their understanding of the text, they construct the sentences. So when you assess them, you cannot assess them as how you assess writing. The most important point here is they understand the text and then they describe what happened, okay, in the text using their own words. Okay, question again. What if they make grammatical mistakes? Okay, who is perfect? They are year 4, right? If they make slight grammatical mistakes, doesn't mean that they don't deserve performance level 6. Even teachers make mistakes in simple sentences. So can we penalize children? We cannot. Okay. So level 6 here is actually you want to see whether they understand or not the idea or the concept or the events, okay, that have taken place in here. And then maybe, you know, there are certain parts that they will ask the teacher, okay, teacher, this one, can I add is or are or something like that? It's okay. But the most important thing is they understand the idea, not so much their sentence structure. Don't assess this like how you assess in writing. In writing, the assessment is different. This one, again, that's the reason I drew your attention to why we need to teach reading and what is it that we need to teach by teaching the reading skill. So it is understanding what they read in the text. Okay, I hope you understand. Slide 5 is PL6 because it allows people to express. Yes, so I'm coming to this, level 6. Thank you, Mona. Can understand, okay, the main idea and all that by responding creatively to given tasks. Okay, so now, do all of you agree to what I have said so far? Can I just see some yes, no in the chat box or something like that? Yeah, I'm watching the time. Huh? You agree to everything I say. Okay. No one disagrees. Wow. Okay. You're not so good. Huh? Everything you'll agree. Okay. Actually, there are certain things. I won't say that it's not right, but you can change. Meaning, okay, you need to look at the keywords. Okay. Did you notice anything different, okay, about performance level 3 until performance level 6? Any keyword there that you all notice? Not yet, Nur Hashimah, belum habis. Not yet, not done. Okay. Did you all notice any difference between that level 1 and 2 and then after that 3 until 6? There was a keyword there if you notice. Can anyone state if you look at your performance standard? More than one word? No.
How they respond?
Yeah. Sorry?
How they respond to the...
How they respond. Who is this who's speaking, please?
Izati.
Izati. Thank you very much. Yes. The word here is responding. Okay. When you say responding, does it only mean filling up the worksheets? Not necessary. Okay. Very good. You're very observant. Okay. The word here, if you look at the what do you call it, the performance standard, from level 3 until level 6, you have the word responding. What I showed you just now was only a sample. Okay, so it doesn't mean it has to be like a written worksheet and things like that. Okay, that's why I want to share with you, right? So a note to teachers here. Okay, when pupils respond, there are many ways of responding, not just by writing. Yes, matching can, filling in the blanks can, completing sentences can, no problem. Okay, but those are only some suggestions. So if you think about it, I also did, thanks to a few good friends, okay, who together we kind of brainstorm. You see, coming up with these kind of things is not easy. As I said, even knowledge doesn't just drop from the sky. I also have to do research and I had to put myself in the place of the teacher. And it's not easy because I don't teach in class every day now for the past 8 years, but not that I don't know anything. Okay, so I get feedback, yeah, from others. So I had very good friends who helped me to brainstorm. And then when we saw the word respond, we said respond is not only doing the worksheets. Okay, there are other ways of responding. So I have listed here, draw a picture and retell the events. Okay, so they draw a picture according to their interpretation, not exactly what is in the book. But again, talking about drawing, not every pupil can draw. Okay, without drawing, perhaps they want to retell a certain part, a particular event. They can choose one part of the what do you call it, the events that happen there. Maybe they want to pick a particular event and talk about it. But of course, you need to guide. But then they want to retell. When they retell, they say their own words, not follow the script. Okay? Then they can retell, narrate the event in their own words. Okay, this is something similar to the first one, but the first one was drawing a picture and retelling. Okay? If you want, they can also print out, pictures, kind of like, I don't know whether it's something similar to show and tell. Maybe they can, get pictures and show from the internet, maybe pictures of, I don't know, reused things, recycled things, or camping, or something like that. Okay, as long as they can respond to the text. Okay, and then they can create a flow chart to describe the events. Okay, now in here, if you notice, these are all subjective again. Whether you give them level 3, 4, 5, and 6, it depends on the kind of response that you get. Okay, so like here, for example, they create a flow chart of the events. Okay, what happened first, and then what happened. Whether they use words, they want to use pictures, it will differ from one child who does the normal flow chart. Okay, maybe sleeping bag missing, and then what, found whose sleeping bag is that? What's that boy's name? Greg. I forgot. I think Greg, right? See, this is another thing. This is another thing. This, what do you call it? Book has the characters, right? So by right, you should have taught them the characters from the beginning of the year and consider these characters, okay, as their, what do you call it? As their friends, So they will, what do you call it? So they will know when they look at the picture, they know, oh, this is Greg. Oh, that is Anna. This is Sandy. That's why if you notice, I use names there because I also notice the characters and all that there. I think even the previous textbook also we had characters, so that the pupils can associate them, make them like their friends and things like that. Okay. So coming back to this flow chart, a child who does just a normal direct flow chart, okay, and another child who maybe does, maybe like a mind map, with proper picture and explanation or something like that, that one will get a higher level compared to the child who just did a normal flow chart. So it's subjective there, okay? Choose a character and describe him or her. Okay, that's also in response to the text. Character from the text, okay? For example, they want to explain Carlos. What happened to Carlos? Suddenly his sleeping bag got lost. How do you think he would feel? And then after that, how did they find his sleeping bag? Those kind of things, okay? Or you can also create a poem, a song, a chant to describe the events, okay? This one may be the higher level one, level 4, 5, 6, okay? Maybe they can create a poem, a song, or something like that, something creative, okay? More towards 5 and 6 actually, okay? Now, okay, so I'm coming back to this now. Again, performance level 6, as you saw just now, okay, may not necessarily mean constructing sentences only. So I've already discussed, some of the ideas that my friends and I brainstormed, and we came up, this is a way to respond. So when you see the word responding, okay, there are many ways to respond, not just in writing. Okay, so this is a gentle reminder, to a lot of teachers. Okay, here, possible questions. Okay, we are coming towards the end already. Please bear with me. Okay, must you assess only on the main LS? Depends on your pupils' levels. Okay, if you can, do together with the complementary skill. If cannot, only focus on the main one. 2, can a song be used as a suggestion? Okay, a lot of teachers now, the newer ones especially, I really hope you learn what is a jazz chant and things like that. It's a fun thing, not just the Kahoot quizzes and whatever you have now, right? Please don't forget the other games or the other fun activities as well. Okay, so you can adapt them. Okay, that's what I did just now. but not to a jazz chant, but to a song. And try to take, songs that familiar, tunes that are familiar to them, and then you fit the words in. Okay, if you have problem with that, contact me. I love doing this. And if you see somebody, thanks to one of our friends here who actually drew my attention, because in one of, I think, the Taj Mahal book for year 6, contemporary, the CCL book, yeah, I adapted the words according to an ABBA song. Okay, so the teacher can maybe just play the tune of the ABBA song, and then, just for that part, then the pupils can follow along, something like that. Okay. Can you use chants between pages 119? Okay, 119. If you notice in your textbook, you also have like phonics, you have other texts and all that, until 128. Okay, you have CLIL, content and language integrated learning, CLIL, if you see, so you have others and all that. Can you use them? Of course. Okay. Can you use other texts than the ones in the textbook? Can, no problem. Okay, but make sure they are of the A1 high language level. Okay, also look at always refer to the CFR learning, the levels. Okay, where else can I get my materials for teaching? Oh, many platforms. Okay, YouTube is a famous source, but if you notice, you see I put in capital letters. Please check the materials first for the correct content and language. No translations, okay, from English to DM or to Chinese or to Tamil, please. Okay, if there are some you can't help, yes, but if they are, you skip that, or you edit, or you stop, you pause, you do whatever is necessary so that you don't show the translation. Okay, again, why do you need translation when you have pictures to show them? Use yourself, use gestures, use pictures, okay, context, whatever, okay, but please do not translate. Okay, they will never learn, trust me. Till now, if you go and listen to people speaking in English, I just hold my head. I do not know how. Okay, anyway, 6. Can any text, sorry, no S, can any text be used for the teaching of language arts? No. The text must be from the three genres. Okay, for year 4, it is The King of Kites. Okay, and then the Jungle book, right? The graphic novel, and the poems from the anthology of poems. Okay, must I conduct the assessment on the same day? No. Carry forward, okay, to the next day or the third day if you have to. Don't carry for one whole week though, but I do not know. It's difficult to say, especially now with online learning. Okay, and the time is limited, right? So I cannot, we're not penalizing you or whatever. This one, that's why you need to plan. That's why I said if you have a 60-minute lesson, try to plan for 45 minutes or something like that, with the other 15 minutes for unexpected things to happen. Okay, I've joined some online classes, and sometimes I really pity the teacher. Okay. Okay, so get them to practice and all that. Okay, give them the support that they need, the time that they need. Okay, so they may begin with the lower performance level, but you're bound to teach the same learning standard in another topic. Okay, how do I save time in covering the topics? Okay, modular teaching. So again, PLC. That is why some schools, I believe, I don't know, every Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, they have what do you call PLC, among the panel members. I do not know what exactly is discussed, but if you feel you need, to sit down, kind of combine topics, or, for a particular skill, you want to teach this and that, those kind of things, or you can do it through PLC. That's why planning is very important. Planning takes a lot of time. Okay? Discuss by PLC with your colleagues and plan, okay, which topic skills that can be combined. Then you will have time to do reinforcement revision more intensely. Okay? Okay. So I always keep to this concept as well. If you've told a child 1,000 times and he still does not understand, then it is not the child who's the slow learner. Okay? So it is our duty, our responsibility, okay, to make sure, that there is some learning that's going on. Okay, so sorry, I have to hold on. Give me time. I have to share the attendance link. Yeah, don't leave yet. Okay. Hold on. Now, why am I going there? Okay. So mistakes are proof that you are trying. So people make mistakes, accept them, because teachers also make a lot of mistakes. But again, it's all a learning process. Don't be embarrassed to ask anyone. Okay. And I always say that, we officers are here, Pantiwana, myself, Alex Leong, and all that. We are here. Please ask. I've been waiting, but nobody has been asking. Only a few have asked, can we share the slides? Can we share the slides? And then I wanted to improve, because before this I only did one, but now I followed the CFR concept. Okay. Yeah. So thank you. Okay. So where am I? Hold on. I will. Am I here? I got lost already where I am. Now, okay. So, hold on, yeah. Okay. Yes. So now I shall put oh God. Now I shall hold on, yeah. Share the attendance. Okay. Yeah. Now I shall. Okay, I'm sorry, yeah. My what is we are having some network problem as well. Even my PC is also having some problem. Hold on, yeah. I share with you. Alex, is Alex here? Okay, never mind. Okay. Hold on. Share with you the link for today. Okay. In the meantime, okay. Do you have any questions? Before I end, because I'm scared that some of you may just leave and all that. I wish to thank all those who have joined today's session. Okay, whether you're in PETALING UTAMA or you're not, please fill in the the link. Okay, and to all of you in PETALING UTAMA as well. Always remember, we are here to help you, not to go and look for your mistakes and things like that. Oh, I got from Ulu Langat. Yes, thank you. Okay. So, do I have any questions? Does anyone? Yeah, nice to see you, Jenny.
Madam, hi.
Yes, Prina.
I'm Prina from Hulu Langat district. I was wondering, how can we get access to this recording as well as your slides, please, so that we can refer to it from time to time and also share with the teachers.
Yeah, I'm planning, with this recording. Khadija, can you mute, please? Khadija? Okay. I'm planning to share this recording via YouTube. It's okay. I'm planning to share this recording via YouTube. Once it's done, I will give the link, okay, to I will share with your respective SISC plus officers. Okay, we have a group together. I will share the link there. Okay, and then I can also share the slides with you. Oh, there's one other thing I just wanted to show you. Let me see. I'm not sure whether it's open here. Not this. Okay. I actually have if you can bear with me for another minute. I just want to share. Oh, okay. Is it this? I think so. Let me get it open. Oh, it's here. Okay. So I have let me share my screen with you. I have how can I open it here? Okay, wait. Sorry, I don't know why. Hold on. I thought I opened it here. Uh, okay, let me see if I can share this. Yeah. It doesn't seem to want to share. I have no idea why. Yeah, I actually did the what do you call it, the performance standards. Yeah, I've actually kind of like, you know, simplified with y'all, but I do not know why it's refusing to open now. Okay, otherwise I just want to share with you. Maybe I will share with your oh, I understand why. It's in a different I think it's in a different tab. Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's in the other one. No, this one I think. Dana, I don't know whether you can see. It doesn't want to go to the other. Sorry, but anyway, I have done what you call it. I have done the learning standards to match the what you call the descriptors. Okay, so I can share that with you as well, and then I will share that with your SISC, respective SISC plus officer, so you can get from them as well. If you need to contact me, my number is 016 776 3488. Okay. Does anyone have any other question?
Madam, can you please repeat your phone number?
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
I will just type it here. Okay. Type it in the group chat. Yeah. Please send me a text before calling me, because I don't usually answer numbers from, you know, that are not in my contact list. Okay. So I hope you all will, you know, fill in the attendance links. Yeah. And give a bit of feedback. Okay. Maybe you want to text me also and tell me, you know, what sort of help you need in the future or something like that. Okay, but if you do PLCs and all that, if you wish to, you know, me to come and sit, maybe help you to clear, you know, some understanding of the learning the descriptors for the performance standards, please do. Please let me know earlier. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Rubia. Any other question? Thank you, Marcia. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure to share with you all. Okay. It's a sincere sharing, yeah, to help all of you all. Any other questions so far? Thank you for all your cooperation as well. Any other questions so far? Okay, it's a few minutes before 5, yeah. So I'm quite grateful I started at 2, otherwise it will go beyond 5. Thank you very much once again, okay, for participating in this. You have my number, yeah. Please let me know if you need any help, okay? Very uplifting to see your participation.
Thank you, Miss Jenny.
You're most welcome, Gomati. I hope it really helped. I'm not sure whether Bhavani joined, but you have colleagues. Yeah. True.
Thank you.
All the best. Mariam Jamila. Yeah, welcome.
Okay, thank you again, Miss Jerry.
You're most welcome. I'm sorry I could only squeeze in 2 samples, yeah, for speaking and reading. Okay, I hope you can do it for writing as well.
Thank you, Miss Gary. Very good info.
Most welcome. Thank you, Hasni.
Cherry. Thank you, Miss Cherry.
You're most welcome. For those who are not panel heads, I will share what do you call it, the slides, yeah, with your panel heads, and then you can ask. Okay. We still need to do in-house training to clear some things, and perhaps maybe in the in-house training you can do also for writing as well as for listening. Okay. You're most welcome. Arigato, Azinda. Right?
Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, Miss Jerry.
You're
Great
most
and
welcome.
wonderful sharing.
Yo, I respect you going to retire and you still want to learn. I really salute you, I tell you.
Learning is a lifelong journey. Thank you so
Really.
much.
You're
I learned
most
a lot from you, Miss Jerry.
You're most welcome. We learn from one another,
Thank
yo.
you. Thank you. Keep in touch, Miss Jerry.
Definitely. When are you retiring? You say January, is it?
Coming January, 2 more months to go.
Okay. Hopefully we can, go for a yum cha before you leave.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, Miss Jerry.
Okay, all the
After
best.
you, I'll be the next in line.
Oh, yo, I know, waiting only, Vivian.
I'll be next in line.
When is yours, Vivian?
Mine will be after you, the following year.
The following year.
Yeah.
2023.
Yes.
Okay, you keep in the cupboard first, okay? You go 22.
John, you have 2 more years to go. Don't
Yes.
worry. You are still young.
Next year, I hope they don't give me panitia anymore.
But there must be some other teachers, to carry out, to follow up, on the responsibilities. They cannot be depending on one teacher. That is why it is a team effort.
That's why my secretary is there. My secretary is following, but she's very young, 2 years only, but she's following me.
Experience helps a lot, but also it is not just the panel head and the secretary who do the work. It's the whole panel. Always remember that.
Yes, true.
Hi, Miss Jerry.
Okay, bye.
Okay, Miss Jerry,
Bye.
bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
Stay safe and well, dear. Bye.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Hi, Miss
Bye
Jerry.
all.
Hi. Hi, Vanita.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. How are
I,
you?
I, I, I really could not make you out. You look like 20 years younger with your new hairdo. Seriously.
After how many months of the hair being long, you want to tie, cannot tie, you want to
But
do
you
this,
look,
cannot
you
do.
are looking really good now.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
much younger, taken off the years.
Oh, wow. I wish.
No, seriously.
Thank you. Thank God
Anyway,
for that.
thanks so much. Thanks so much for sharing.
No problem. Thank you for joining us as well, yeah. If we
Okay,
need help,
thanks.
Vanita, please help also, yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Taman Dato Harun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next door to Tuan Shantini.
Yes. So you see, the taiko is there. Your HM will always say, we have there the taiko here or the seafood.
Yeah. Anything, we'll get in touch. I always refer to Shantini anyway.
Okay. All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Vanita. Take care.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, most welcome.
Bye. Take care.
By the end of the lesson, people should be able to write a set of questions. The pupils is A. Write a set of questions. Write and sentence. Write a set of questions and sentences by rearranging given words to form a short conversation on their favorite subjects. Okay. Who is this? Who sent this? Let me see. Can I see who sent this? Mona, is it you? No. Who's this? Pajam. What was that question? Mona, are you still here, Mona? Oh, Mona has left. It's okay. I will take her. Okay, something wrong. Oh, you're still in. Okay, you are in. Okay. Now, looking at this LO, okay, the ABCD, you have the A, the audience, the pupils, okay. The B is to write, okay. Write what? Write a set of questions and sentences. If you have a question, it's always a question and an answer, okay. A question and an answer, right? A set of how many questions, or a set of questions and uh, answers lah, or replies or responses. Okay, by rearranging given words to form. I'm assuming this is for a writing lesson. Okay, rearranging given words to form a short conversation on their favorite subjects. Okay, you have the context there. Okay, now usually when you have a favorite, okay, it will be one or two. That's it. You cannot be like so many favorites, because favorites mean actually the ones that you like the most. Okay. So when they write the question and the say responses, okay, they are rearranging given words. That means when they rearrange the given words, they kind of like, but here is to form a short conversation, you know. When you converse, do you need to write out what you converse? See, speaking is not reading. Yeah, very often that I have seen, in a particular lesson, when they ask the children to read, when they ask the children to speak, and then the children will be holding the book and actually reading. You're not speaking. To speak, you don't refer to anywhere. That's why you need to have the practice first in speaking. That's why you teach the what do you call it, the sentence patterns first. If there is a question, you teach them. Like for example, just now that song where we had the question, right? So when you ask the question, how are you, my friend? That's where you teach them the intonation, and then they will reply, oh, I have a toothache, or I have a stomach ache, or something like that, where to stress and things like that. Okay, so you use these practices, okay, to form that conversation, not to write and form a conversation. If you write to form a paragraph, can, Mona, but not to write a conversation. So that's where you are a bit wrong already. Writing and speaking. Yeah, you can, but then again, you need to speak first before you can write. So maybe you want to teach them to speak first, and based on what they speak, then they transfer it into writing. Then okay, but not write first and then they speak. Okay, although maybe your focus is on writing. So when you want to assess, you will assess writing, right? So I think in this context, it's not very suitable. Better to speak first. You still can do this combination of writing and speaking, but they need to know how to speak it out first. Maybe with two questions and two answers, like what I did just now, right? What's the matter, my friend? I have a stomachache. Why? Why the stomachache? Then the other one answers, what do you call it? Because, what was it? Because of the candy I ate, or too much candy I ate, something like that, right? Just now. Okay. So they will practice this first. Okay. And then perhaps you can put the picture of someone here, picture A, picture B. Okay. Maybe Hassan and Kumari here. Okay. Then Hassan will ask what? So then they write out the question. And then what is the reply given by Kumari? And then Hassan will ask again what? That can, in that sense. Kind of like filling in a speech bubble, that kind can. But they have to speak first before they can write. I hope it's clear for you, Mona. Okay, you're most welcome. Any other question? I thought I missed out some. Any other question by anyone? The slides activity. Oh, okay, good. But that's only a sample, I hope. Okay. Any other question? Okay, I don't see questions. Okay. Anything else to share? Anyone? There are another 16 of you here.
Hi, Miss Jerry. Thank you for the talk and everything. It's
You're
very
most welcome.
yes. I also like to clarify that I'm using this ID as I am a temporary teacher, so that's why my voice is not the same as the name.
I didn't see the Benti, sorry. So what's your name, please?
Akmal.
Akmal. Where are
Yeah.
you from?
I'm from Kajang.
Which school? Are you the one who mentioned just now? No, you didn't speak earlier.
No, not me.
No. Which school in Kajang?
SK Section 7.
Oh, Section 7 in Kajang. Where about is this, huh?
It's near, it's not in Kajang. I'm from Kajang. The school is in Bangi, yeah.
Oh, Pangi, I see. Thank you for joining us. It's nice to have you aboard. It's better still if I can see you, then I can have a picture, put a face to
This
the
I'm
voice.
turning on my camera. It's a bit dark actually.
Oh, it's okay.
So yeah.
Thank you for
No, but it's,
joining in,
it's
Akmal. Yeah. How long have you been teaching?
I started in February
this year?
Yes, and I've been extending my contract until it's supposed to end on the 31st of October.
Okay.
Yes, so far it's been a huge experience being a teacher. I truly now know why teachers are stressed out and constantly tired. It's not an easy job. It really is not an easy job.
Thank you for appreciating teachers,
Yes.
There are a lot of
mom is
good-
also a teacher actually.
Sorry, your?
Yeah, my mom.
Okay.
Yes,
So, a lot of people kind of like do finger pointing, towards teachers and blame them and all that. But you do not know a lot of the work behind the scenes that a lot of teachers do and sacrifice their time.
Yes.
For online lessons, they even do at night, on weekends,
Yes.
At least one of my trainers, at least two of my trainers actually kind of like do classes on weekends for weak children and things like that. So, yeah. So thank you once again for
No
joining.
problem. It's a lot
I've
of work.
shared my number if you need to clarify about anything. Are you applying for a permanent teaching post or something?
Yes, I did apply they offered
one off that day?
Yes, the one off thing, and a new one recently popped up for students who are not from education background, which I am. So I'm
okay,
trying
good.
to apply for that, and hopefully, I get some traction from there.
Oh, good.
Yes,
I
teaching has changed me a lot actually.
That's good. So now you appreciate them more, right?
Yes, I appreciate them a lot more, and I feel bad for not being a good student when I was in school.
Yeah, it's always the case. It's after you have fallen, then you know the pain.
Yes.
So it's good. Yeah. So if you kind of like, need help to clarify things and all that,
Yes.
I'm here. Yeah. But
Yes.
always text me first before calling. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
of
I've had
course.
all this scam, that scam, and things like
Yeah,
that.
too
So
many scammers nowadays.
yeah, a lot. So good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
No
I'm
problem.
kind of glad, it's a satisfaction as well that I got to help at least one teacher.
Yes, because it's surprising that as a my step teacher, a temporary teacher from my step, it's surprising that there's a lot of work that we have to do because we are literally doing the teacher's work that we are replacing, like every single thing. So it's how to say, I would like comparing it to it's just a comparison, it's just an observation, comparing it to a TESOL student of the same course and same thing. When they first start coming to school, they merely observe first instead of actually teaching. So to compare it to us, my step teachers, we immediately have to start teaching, and basically we need to get to know everything in hand at that moment. So it was a bit hectic at first, but slowly I got through it. I got used to it, and today I learned more. Something that is very important that I can use as experience, and something that I can keep doing in my following classes. So a lot of things actually. So basically, if you become a teacher, you can be anything else in the world. Basically.
I won't say that.
I mean, there's a lot of work, like a lot of things that people do.
Puan Hilwana is my fellow officer, my colleague. Yeah.
Actually, that whatever you're telling just now is
Yes.
called backward design. That's a new theory. You
Backward?
explore first, then only you learn the theory. So it's called
Oh.
backward design. Yeah. So you learn to face the students first.
Yes.
Do all whatever people do in schools first. Then only you learn later.
You learn.
I see.
Which will be a very you have the advantage there actually.
You're welcome, Maria.
It's a very opening experience. It's very hands-on. You know, even though it's online, it's very hands-on. You really get to know how things work, how a school works, how everything works, how the whole system works, and how pupils learn. So it's not just coming to class and saying things and this and that. It's more than that. So yeah.
Can I ask you a small favor?
Yes.
Can you please share your
Yes.
feedback about today's session?
Yes.
Okay. Share with me via WhatsApp. Because because I think being a MyStep teacher, I can't key in your attendance. Right.
Oh, okay.
Puan Hilwana? Cannot muted. Muted.
Yeah, you don't have SPL KPM. I don't think so.
Okay.
But at least I can add this in my report, you see.
Okay.
That I had, and it managed to help you and things like that.
Okay. I'll send it in WhatsApp. Okay. But by today, I'll try to think of a good paragraph of what to say.
Sure. Puan Hilwana, sorry if I didn't mention your name just now. I really couldn't see who is in, who's out.
Actually,
So
I actually kesian you handled it on your own seorang-seorang. Because I was not in the ELPC meeting also.
Yeah, I understand.
They were using Microsoft Teams, which is actually I'm not very familiar kan. So I find the buttons here and there. There are so many things in the screen. That's why they started at 2:30. So okay lah, and then a lot of things lah system kan.
So this is another thing as well, Akmal.
Yes.
People like us will have like 2-3 meetings at one go. Although we have 2 years and
Yes.
one brain, we can only concentrate on one, but we have to kind of hook on to the others.
So many things to do in
Correct.
now
So
I
it's not
understand
just
how my
teachers
mom
also.
felt like when she was a principal actually.
Where?
SMK Bandar Baru Sungai Long.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, good. What's the name of place?
Puan Zaitun.
Puan Zaitun. Okay. I'm not very familiar with the teachers over there. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear, and thank you for sharing with us. So that's why I need this in, if you can send your feedback, I will include it in my report as well.
Yes, I'll send it as soon as possible.
Thank you.
What is if you don't mind my asking, what's your bachelor in? Your bachelor in?
Bachelor's in English Language Studies.
Oh, English language studies.
You did ELS as well. Then I did my master's in that.
You only minus the education education
It
part
was
lah.
under social sciences in UKM.
Oh, okay. But bachelor's degree.
UKM
bachelor's.
also.
Yeah.
We are all from UKM. Actually, Jerry.
Oh.
From UKM.
Mine is also Master of Arts, English Language Studies.
I just graduated actually last year.
Mm.
And I wanted to be, of course, everyone wants to be something else, after they graduated. But, I guess I had to take a rain check on that. And I got this opportunity. I was very lucky to get this opportunity. Me being a person that has not much experience in teaching young pupils. So it was I was quite lucky to get. I have basic understanding of a few educational phrases and terms, but on the way, while I'm doing this, I'm constantly learning what are these things, what is that thing. So it really is an eye-opening thing. That's why, like I said just now, if you become a teacher, you can be anything else, because in terms of trying to make everything happen, planning, it is that is serious skill. It's not something
Especially
that
an English teacher, Ahmad. English
Yes.
teacher.
It's so hard being an English teacher, teaching English.
Yeah. So all the best to you.
Yes. So I will excuse myself first. So thank you
Yeah.
again, Ms. Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great day today.
Yeah. Stay safe, yeah.
Okay, you too.
Jerry still recording, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm stopping.
Hi, Miss Jerry.
Hi,
Rowana.
Dominic.
How are y'all?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Okay, all right.
Good.
No
Enjoy.
complaints. Sit in the house, no complaints.